And we are officially live. So, aloha to everyone tuning into this, wherever you are, whenever you are. You're tuned into another Paradigm Shift Team Building Video Hangout. Everyone in the Hangout, say hello to the people of the internet. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. We have several people in the Hangout, and we'll be getting a chance to learn a little bit about who each of them are. And just as a quick run through, we got Ashley, we got Diego, we got Indigo Jack, Michelle, Sam, Sifu, aka Paul from the UK, and Stevel. Stevel, how do you pronounce your name properly?
Stevel. It's
Stevel?
actually Steve.
Steve. Okay. Either Steve works as well.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, roger that. Cool. Okay, so again, for everyone who's tuning into this, at this moment, I encourage us to let our friends know that Paradigm Shift is live. So for us who are actually in the Hangout, and for those of you who are listening as well, if you just want to let people know, and I'm just going to do that as well, while sort of bringing people a little bit of an introduction as to what this project is and some of the intention behind it. And again, this project is a real-world game to help shift consciousness, and the way how we play the game is by building a team of shifters all across the globe who are also helping create paradigm shift communities where they are, and by creating conscious media. So that's basically the long and the short of it, and within that, the paradigm shift at its core is about encouraging open-mindedness, healthy living, and the evolution of consciousness. So if those are things that ring your chakras, then you're in the right spot. And we'll talk about like lucid dreaming and all sorts of fun stuff. So, which is again within this community. There's the team building hangouts, and then we'll talk about this within this hangout. But there will also be the dream classes that will be happening Tuesday, and then the admin hangouts that will be replacing the team building hangouts as well as the Paradigm Shift Destiny School. So those are just planting those seeds now, and you'll hear more about those in the future. But again, within this project, what we're going to use this space for is evidently to record a podcast, and also to just be able to get to know a little bit about each other while also brainstorming on ideas. I got some ideas where I want to ask some questions to you guys about what would be interesting conscious media that we can create, and that can be like short videos, that can be image memes, that can be sharing our art, that can be attaching poems to images. So we can start expanding the way we think about how to create conscious media, and also by sharing research that we're doing, such as finding particular topics that we can write articles on and sharing information. So we can actually use part of this broadcast as a work period. So while we're listening to this, someone could be running some research and gathering some links on a particular topic. And again, so you can see how this can become a very dynamic space for brainstorming and co-creation and lots of cool stuff. So with that said, though, we'll move through with the introductions, and we'll get to hear a little bit about who each person is, again, what name they want to go by or names they go by, where they are located, as I said, and what they are interested in and what they are doing to help assist in the shift. And again, what they are doing to help assist in the shift can be like their art, it can be what they're studying, it can be something involved with events that they may be organizing with the idea being that as we all share this, we can all sort of continue to be inspired and be like, oh, that gives me ideas about things that I can do where I am, or maybe projects that I can work on. And then we start getting like different, like, you know, all these ideas begin to just feed off of each other, which becomes very cool. So with that said, I'll just I'm actually going to pass the introduction off to somebody else, and I'm just going to continue to post a couple links here. But would anybody like to volunteer to go first with the talking circle? Indigo Jack, who is Indigo Jack. Have you been in previous Hangouts? And apologies if you haven't. I just don't. I feel like you have. Yes.
I have, but not with you guys. I've been in a lot of Google Hangouts and stuff with other groups, spiritual communities, doing the same exact thing. So I'm never here with you guys. So I'm happy to be here for the first time.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool to hear. Nice. So yeah, we'll pass the talking stick off to you, and again, you can tell us your names, where you are, what you're interested in, and how you're helping shift consciousness. So the selenite crystal is yours. He's holding a selenite crystal for those listening to the podcast.
The talking stick. Okay.
That's exactly right.
Everybody grapple. I got some magic.
I was like, everyone hold something for the talking.
Everyone hold a crystal. It's a good idea, actually.
So I'm Indigo Jack, and I live in Crystal River, Florida. and I am a light worker, a grid worker, an animal communicator, and a distant energy healer.
Cool.
Is that aloha? That sounds awesome. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about any of those things?
Ask away. Yeah, sure. Any questions? I'm down.
Can you list them again? Because there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, a light worker, grid worker, animal communicator, and distant energy healer.
Cool, awesome. Which one are you most excited about?
The one I'm most excited about, I would say grid working, because not many people know about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what grid working means to you, and feel free to get as metaphysical about it as you want.
Okay, grid working in the very beginning of my experience was something that I got chosen for from Spirit, and it was a portal that came in from my soul essence that got connected to the Christ consciousness grid, and it was pouring down, and there was the portal, and then there was a vortex. So it comes in from the portal from the higher dimensions, and then it goes down into the earth. So this is basically the Christ consciousness grid has all these grid workers that are in tune with these new frequencies, and it's almost like little lighthouses of energy, but it's created from the higher dimensions. Like, it's just flooding whatever area I'm at and wherever this portal's at, which is actually right here where I'm talking, with the higher frequencies, and it spreads out. And there's all these humans all across that are connected and all spread out to hit certain nodal points on the grid to spread this energy around. So I'm just a steward of what the higher dimensions are trying to create here, and it's a blessing. And on a side note, if people are worried about grid workers becoming corrupt, the Earth actually has control of that. So if you become corrupt, if something happens, because humans, as you know, we can become corrupt on certain levels, instantaneously within a millisecond, it will go from me to some other person that's right next in line that's suited to do that, and it will just keep going. So it's not even us doing it. It's just a blessing to be able to be a conduit for that energy.
Cool, man. I like that. Does that when you do that, does that involve a lot of like imagination and visualization for you?
Well, basically, the way I can put it to the most simple level without sounding like a lot of this might sound egotistical, but it's not. It's like the kings of old. Okay, they had this very high divine light, and their aura became so strong that it actually was able to expand out to a large area. That's what created the kingdom. Okay, so when you are the energy that's pouring out, and you're like, so to speak, the king. I'm not saying that I don't associate with that, but it's Spirit giving the higher energies, the higher dimensions, giving that energy to expand your aura. So you're like, whatever is happening in your life, whatever things that are going on, actually spread out to the area around you to help awaken and affect people just by the energy spreading. You don't actually go talk to people. It's just the energy, the aura that spreads out. So.
Cool, man. Yeah, I understand like what you're saying, and it'd be cool to hear some more about it. So, yeah, awesome. Okay, Indigo Jack, thank you so much for being here, and we'll learn more a bit about just for me, it really goes back to this idea of again, how much can thoughts create, and not only to be in tune with these energies, but to sort of recognize them as like waves within the ocean of energy that we're already within, and to realize that we are like also the emanator of waves. These sort of doing our own emanation is like what influences the other ripples, and it's very bubbly. And this actually goes back into like visualizations of the universe that you can see in like Idra's web and other stories and stuff. But I always think about that, how we're like bubbles in an ocean, and bubbles can like move and push and merge and flow and all that good stuff. So yeah, cool. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pass this off to someone else, and then I just have to step away to just check my dog downstairs. But who would like to go next?
I want to say, because my heart's...
Michelle will go next. Okay, so Michelle will introduce herself, and I'll be right back. And Michelle, just talk. Your microphone seems quieter today or something.
I'll be closer.
Yeah, perfect.
Hi, my love. All right. So I got into my teacher voice. I want to come from my heart. So what you were saying, Jack, about the I'm noticing more and more as myself as a healer, and I'll talk about what I do after I say this, but it is so true. All you have to do is be like a vibration of love, and it just happens regardless of whatever the human stuff is. It's just being the presence and being centered, and offering yourself in a pure way that is like that being love. And my whole entire life, I feel, and I got this a lot from Ram Dass. It's actually on my calendar. It's you're not thinking about loving, you're just radiating love. And that is like my whole, oh, that's so cool. The 1111, right when I came that, the 1111 sign just came onto my there's no thought, and oh my God, my life right now is so much about getting me out of my head and bringing me into here. Because right when I went into that explaining, I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk about school, and it was like, no, like just connect to this being here. You're like, I totally experienced the same thing where it's like just by and people come to me and they're like, wow, your presence is just so healing. I was like, okay, like, yes, like thank you, because all I have to do is be present and here and with you, and then there's love that comes in between us. And I really see that as like merging, and oh man, I've been noticing this last week. Moving from the third chakra to the fourth chakra, I think is my work right now in the stage of consciousness that I'm at, is like get out of thinking from the third, or reacting rather from the third, and like remembering the fourth and like being in the fourth. And I wonder, I think that's on a larger global scale as well. I think that might be like my country, my city, like I know there's so many different levels I mentioned. And I'm going to talk about what I do, I guess, for a second, because I create videos, which through our community and also for myself. My name is Michelle Infinity, for those of you who don't know me and all my friends here. And my page is Infinite Everything. So if you type in Michelle Infinity, Infinite Everything, or go to infiniteeverything.net, you'll see that I'm a very versatile healer, and I do shamanic work, and I do I'm like super into Ram Dass and yoga, like super into all of that, and I'm starting to teach yoga. But I really notice some of my gifts that I serve the community with is noticing the patterns that happen in the collective, and so like the third, moving from the third to the fourth, and how there are so many different frequencies of energy, like among us, like there are so many levels of consciousness, but we as fourth chakra beings, and probably most of the audience totally is going to be like have those moments of fourth chakra connection, and we have the reactivity of like third chakra to remember like that place that we were taught kind of when we were growing up, of like how the world works and how reality is and blah 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 blah, and that we have to protect ourselves as opposed to just like surrendering into this love that is infinite, and that like if I come from that place, I can transfer the energy of whoever is in front of me just by being in that loving place. And a lot of my videos lately have been talking about that. Have been talking about surrendering our will and opening to miracles. And what else? And they've just been good lately. Like I've been feeling good about making the media that I've been making. I've been feeling really good, and that's just like a positive thing in my life, is that I'm just like expressing my heart more in my life. And what else do I have? I don't know, I do energy healing. I love that. I love that. And I'm teaching more about yoga and stuff. Lately, actually, that's coming back into my life. I guess that might be it. I guess that's all that I have for the moment. And I'm grateful for all of you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Aho.
Aho.
Oh.
Cool. Yes, thank you, Michelle. And I was just going to say, from a technical point, guys, we'll try to get into the habit when people are talking, we'll just mute their microphones. Michelle's, your microphone was different before or something, maybe, but it's kind of.
Magical now?
Yeah, it's kind of phasey, that's all. So it's okay, though.
Are you dissing my mic? Do you want me to get my headphones?
I'm not entirely sure, but either way, maybe we'll fix this off. But we were able to hear what you were saying, so that was cool. Okay. And you also, and one thing that you mentioned, that you teach yoga and stuff, but yeah, like hosting events and like sound healing events, you've done stuff like that, right? Like music events and stuff.
Yes.
Chantings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. What would you, just within your introduction, what would be like a little bit of advice you might give people who are interested in facilitating space, like sacred space for ceremonies like that? And I'll just ask if anybody else just wants to mute their microphone. We'll just mute a microphone. We'll see if we can hear it better.
Well, be willing. Be willing to be seen and vulnerable, and that's a very important thing for teaching. Is putting yourself out there to serve. I think is the best thing, and to recognize that, like, and this is, I definitely need to remember this also. It's just like the healing; it comes through you regardless, and people have their own experiences. So I've definitely been self-conscious when I'm on stage before, because it's a very vulnerable place to be. Is like you're leaving a ceremony, and like instead of trying to make something happen, you just kind of have to allow and like let the people do it on their own, and then so much will happen through the process just by people having the intention to heal and to come. So it's really just your availability to be open and to create the space and to believe in your work so much, because I think the more that we believe in ourselves, like I was saying with the videos and just different things that we're confident about, it attracts other people to us, and then more magic can happen. Same with working with spirit. I was just thinking this earlier. It's really the belief that we have, the conviction that we have of that it's there, that we can become that tribal leader for our community. So.
Right on. That was awesome. And that sound in your mic actually sounds like way better doing that. So I think that's the trick. So perfect. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Does anybody else maybe have any questions or any comments on anything that Michelle said they would like to add in here, and then we'll keep going with more introductions? And if not, that's cool. Okay, so who would want to go next? And yeah, thank you again, Michelle. And again, for everybody listening, we do our best to include links for all the people who you hear in the shows. So Michelle's website, infiniteeverything.net, you will be able to get the links for that in the show notes for this as well. So yeah, and Facebook pages and all that stuff. So cool. Okay, which maybe I'm only going to offer Paul if you want to go next, only because you're in the UK and I know maybe you want to sleep. I don't know, or maybe you're staying around. Paul, do you want to do your introduction next?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm wide awake, so I ain't going to bed anytime soon. But anyway,
Paul's holding his red lightsaber for those of you listening on the podcast. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear it. So
yes, it was purple. And it goes from purple to pink, and now it's going red. So I'm going into the dark side. Hey ho. Right. My name is Paul Brighton, aka Seafood Boggy, aka Boggy. I do Tai Chi, Qigong, which are forms of energy exercise. I do Chinese massage, reflexology, Reiki, Chinese Reiki, which is Shun Chen Dao or Shun Chen, Shun Chen Chi, even Chinese Reiki. Yes, I do different types of Reiki, different types of massage, healing. I would probably say the one that excites me the most is Shun Dao massage, which is a mixture of acupressure, tuina, different healings. Though I do love the barefoot doctor side of me. In the East, there's a name, a terminology called the barefoot doctor, and the barefoot doctor is someone who helps others by helping them learn to heal themselves. So you get, a regular doctor will heal you. The whole aim, the whole point of a barefoot doctor is to actually help you learn to help yourself. That's the ultimate goal. What I also learned was Dragon Shon. Sorry, because I've got an echo here. Dragon Dog Shaman, and that's very much the manipulation of energy, helping the energy flow. So sometimes it's behind the scenes. So when somebody's talking, you can send energy to the different points or the different parts of that person. In the ancient systems I've worked with, the meridians, the chakras, the auras, the Merkaba, the Torah field, the Dantians, the knowledge of the story I know, or the ancient knowledge I know, says once upon a time they were all the same thing. They were all from the same culture. And then as that culture split apart, these different energy systems went off with different people. So I tend to work with all of them. You know, the chakras are very much with the emotions, the feelings. So it's also Jing, which is emotional vitality. So that's more focused on that energy, and that the meridians are very more on physical vitality. So it's very much the physical functions of the body, and then that's the Qi, and then the Shen is very much connected to the aura, which is the spiritual side. But spirit is also thought, inspiration, the aha moment. So that's the sort of the things I play with and teach and learn more and more about. My main page is To the Way Of. If you type that in, you'll get to the Way Of page, and the Way Of is a sort of a joke. I'm a Taoist, wayward Taoist, and Taoist means the balance, the way of. That's it.
Awesome, thanks, Paul.
That's it.
I liked I like what you mentioned close to the end there, the idea of the Shen energy, or maybe the other one, but it like actually being the inspiration and sort of like being able to recognize it as that, like to be able to recognize inspiration as like an actual energy that flows through us, you know, what, or at least what we define as inspiration are that. I mean, yeah, it's in ways it's very ineffable, but yeah, like what is inspiration when you think about it? Like where does it come from? Like, but to imagine it as an actual energy flow can be very interesting. And yeah, like Indigo Jack's kind of pointing up to you know the ups the ups, but basically like what comes from the up can like flow through us and stuff. You know,
well, what comes from the up is also what comes from the inside. You know, the spirit, the universe, God is everywhere. It's in everything. It is you. But the interesting thing in the West is that this thing they think mind and thought is the same thing. In the East, mind is emotions. Your emotions, your happiness, your sadness, your anger. These are all from the Jing. So they're fueled by the middle dantian, which hides behind the heart chakra, and that is the Jing is the fuel to your emotions. The Shen is the fuel to your inspirations, your thoughts, your aha. So you have an idea which is fueled by Shen, then you take that idea and you love it with all your heart. That's fueled by Jing. And then you take that love and that inspiration and you make it into action, and that's fueled by Qi. So the Qi, Jing, and Shen. That's why in my endos I always say love, which is Jing. Jing is many things. One of the things Jing is unconditional love. So I normally say love, Qi, and Shen. So it's the blend of mind, body, and spirit.
Oh,
anyway, what do I know?
Cool.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Cool. Awesome.
We love you too.
Totally. Paul's Paul's a veteran of Paradigm Shift, and he's been around for quite a while. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to be able to co-create like with you, Paul, on some of the future stuff that we'll be doing. Where again, like some of the concepts, literally like the three that you were just talking about there, to be able to create that into a cohesive article would be a very potent thing. Or even like how can we turn that concept into a 90-second video using images and on-screen text, you know? Like you'll realize that more websites are kind of going to this format where they're doing short videos that are just informative with text on screen. Part of the reason behind that is also like a lot of people are watching things on mobile devices, and even in most cases they may like not have their sound on, but they could still watch a video and just see the on-screen text. So yeah, it's a cool idea to think what videos can we turn into 90-second videos? What concepts, I mean, can we turn into 90-second videos? So we'll think about that a little bit more as we go. Indigo Jack, did you want to say something? I noticed you opened up your mic.
Yeah, I just feel like when you're talking about how 90-second videos, and it's like the attention span of the normal consciousness of human beings is so short that we have to take these very expansive ideas and condense them into such a form, and that takes a lot of work to condense all that into a very short video. And I've been trying to do that too. I didn't mention it in the introduction, but I have a YouTube channel, Indigo Jack, where I try to take some of these bigger ideas and condense them down, and yeah, that's where it's at, man. Totally.
Awesome. What's your exact YouTube? Can you post a link for that?
Sure.
Just in this chat, and again, for people who are watching this, Facebook and everything, it's kind of like this weird algorithm. I may try running the parallel broadcast through the Facebook Live, which we were playing around with at the beginning within this broadcast to see if it at least reaches a few more people. But what I am getting to is that there is the 24/7 live chat through the website, and people who are watching this, please feel free to comment in that if you have anything just to add or if you have any questions. And again, when you're on the main website, there's a little box in the bottom that says live chat, and that launches there. And for everyone in our Google Hangout, I just posted a link to that too. And so I'm reposting Indigo Jack's YouTube link into the live chat, and we'll also post in again, Michelle and Paul, if you guys want to post your stuff, or I'll post your stuff, either way. So yeah, just getting into the hang of like all the technical bells and whistles that we got available to play with us. But yeah, that's cool. Indigo Jack, I'm gonna actually just check out your YouTube and everything as we're kind of browsing this as well, because I'm trying to as it's without crashing my thing. Okay, cool. So I'm not subscribed, so your channel is new to me. So awesome. I look forward to checking it out. And yeah, like already I see you got quite a few topics. So I mean, even stuff like right now, like presumably the stuff that you got here is like stuff that we can still help share through the project as well. You know, it doesn't have to be like super complex and stuff. So this is good stuff. So yeah, just looking. Thanks. I'll read off some of the titles for people. And again, it's youtube.com/Mr. Jackster, MRJACKSTER 20. The number is 20. And yeah, there's one on like life and death, how to remain neutral, healing advice from Indigo Jack, timeline shift in 2015, personal story of abundance, and starseed journals. And yeah, there's quite a few here, so that looks really cool. I like the starseed journals and stuff. So have you ever? That's really cool, man. Have you ever been to any of like the channeling Google Hangouts by chance?
No, I haven't.
No. Sometimes, yeah, we've had people like cross over from that community as well, but.
That's basically what it is. A starseed journal was just channeling an animal spirit that I had to kind of share. Yeah.
Cool, awesome, man. Well, that's wicked, yeah, and we'll swing back into the introductions, but I'd like to go back and we can talk more about what you've actually been working on. And again, with the Paradigm Shift Central project, what we want to do with this project is collectively, all of us like come together with all of this media, and with the idea that we'll get back into the routine of actually releasing a new video, quote unquote new video, every day, and the Facebook audience will like see a routine of that. So again, we can rotate already. Like, Indigo Jack, with your permission, like you've already got well over, you know, close to like 20 videos, give or take. And even these videos, you know, your subscriber count right now is close to about like 240, and a lot of these videos are probably something like most definitely they're going to be something that people will appreciate. Yet, due to the way the internet works, there hasn't been a lot of people who have seen them yet. And that's kind of the exciting thing, is that for myself and for everyone included who have been making videos maybe for like years now, it's almost as if like everything becomes new again, literally. So things that we created years ago become brand new if no one's seen them before. So that's actually, so over the years, whether we've been doing it intentionally or not, we've actually been like building up this resource of media, and each piece of media becomes like this little package that we can send out into the internet. And it's really cool because then those packages can like link people back to this project, and the abundance continues to rise. And ultimately, what we also want to do is encourage people who are listening even to this broadcast right now to go out there and create their own videos. And through that act of self-expression, through art in general, that's a very important part of the spiritual path and journey. I think, you know, one that I definitely, everyone's got it within them. So I want to be able to encourage people and having videos and examples to share is how we kind of do that. So, yeah, no, that's really cool, man. Again, thanks for sharing that, and I'm looking forward to checking this out when we get a chance. So,
blessings, brother.
Much love, man. Much love. Cool. And we'll talk more about the actual tactics behind how we'll share things and how we'll create things into quest journals and things like that. But basically, with the long story short, I was just going to mention, with some of the things, we would literally be uploading the videos to Facebook again, which is usually what we've been doing, because that is like the algorithm where when it's way better than a YouTube link. And ultimately, if our goal is to get things seen, then that is one way to be able to do it, yet still having the link to the original YouTube person's channel as well. So subscribers still go up that way. So it all makes sense. Cool, guys. So with that said, we'll continue to move through some of the introductions. Paul is still with us. Michelle's still with us. And again, everybody at this point, except for Sam, is, I believe, new. Steve dropped out, but maybe he'll be back. And in here with us, does anybody here want to volunteer to go next? Ashley wants to go next?
Yeah.
Cool, okay, so we'll pass it over to Ashley, and yeah, I think you know what to do, so by all means, go ahead.
Hi guys, my name's Ashley, or Ashley Marie. I'm from New Jersey. I've been living in New Jersey my whole life. I love traveling. I love meeting new people from around the world. My journey, I'm an empath, and I am also kind of a clairvoyant, so I really enjoy working with people and trying to get them to search deep within themselves and really learn to let go of the ego and try to let go of their worries in a way, and try to have them understand that in this world we live in a world where there is good and bad, yin and yang, light and darkness, and through all the negative situations we have in life and we experience, we want to pull something valuable out of that. And I'm a firm believer. I do not believe in coincidences, and I believe everything happens for a reason, and we may not always understand why something happens, but trying to accept it and trying to take something out of every experience you have in life, good or bad, is a beautiful thing to be able to do. So yeah.
Thanks, Ashley. And I was going to say, do you want to? You mentioned earlier you were working on some song.
Yeah, I'm working on a song now.
Cool.
It's still in production, and I'm working in a recording studio at school, so it's still in the works, but it's a great opportunity, and I'm dedicating it to all the indigos and people who really want to break out of the matrix and really want to learn about pushing themselves forward and realizing that we're all interconnected, no matter the circumstance, and that bond will never be broken. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you want to? You have channels online that you can tell us?
I have a YouTube channel, but that's mainly for like singing and dancing. I'm also gonna make some videos with my poetry, and I want to kind of create. I have some visions in my mind of creating some great conscious-based media with my poetry and different colors, lightings, and different textures, and to really make it interesting. So it's yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing your dancing videos? Because I think dancing is very conscious media and
Yeah. I'll post my YouTube channel. I'm going to probably retake them down and re better quality, but I'll definitely post my channel.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Yeah, that's wicked. And yeah, actually, I like the stuff that you're already working on, because I mean, again, feel free to bring as much of that as you want into the Paradigm Shift project and stuff.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
like creating memes is a very powerful thing. There was a time where I was in the habit of actually trying to make like a new meme image every day, and basically the format that I was using was just kind of, again, like an inspirational quote that I would almost like get. I have like a book of like just kind of short blurbs and stuff like that, and I was kind of using that as inspiration or using a place to draw ideas off of, or just finding actual quotes and stuff. But yeah, and then taking those and then like putting them into an image of like space with sort of mandalas and sacred geometry and mixing it around. You kind of like mix it around like paint and water, and every time you do it, it creates a little background that's different, and putting the text on that and having it focus more on the words and if there's a corresponding image. But yeah. Doing that
Mixing magic.
Yeah, mixing magic. Meme alchemy. More or less. Yeah, so creating memes and creating images is something that I want to be able to spend some more time talking about. What I'm actually interested in trying right now, guys, I'm going to try, you guys know how earlier how we were broadcasting through Facebook, right? Like, was that working for you guys?
While we're going live.
Yeah, live within live within live. Like, when I had that going, you guys were actually talking to the live chat in there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were asking me questions.
You don't know.
Yeah, it was Inception. So it was crazy. So yeah, what again for people listening, what we did, I have the Facebook Live feature on my iPad, and I was filming my screen, and I walked away and turned on the audio, so the iPad was watching that, and they were watching the iPad feed through the other window browser, and they were doing live chat through there. Essentially, it honestly all it is just like activating the live chat. If people were to just find this link first, they would just use the live chat within the website. But again, since everything is made extra more challenging because of Facebook, just for whatever reason, we have to like combine technologies to create one that we already have. So bizarre. But anyways,
that's some Tesla logic there.
Oh yeah, totally. So what I'm going to
you lost us on iPad.
What's that, Paul?
I said you lost us on iPad.
Apple products are awesome.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna turn this live on. So even right now, it's like you guys. Oh, there's the meta Inception. Is it working? There it is. See it? Do you guys see that Inception for on video right now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's like the hyperbolas.
Ooh.
I think
all the time.
He's going to be notified.
Okay, I'll finish what I was saying, but go ahead, Ashley. You want?
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention something.
Okay,
you know, when I'm older, my ultimate goal is to own a life coaching business. And what I want to do is like I want to own a life coaching business, and I want them like intertwine that with spiritual, so kind of be like a spiritual life coaching business. And you know, I want to own a business with like my family, and you know, and other people who are very spiritual, and you know, and people who want to help people. And I want to create conscious-based media. You know, I don't plan on working for the mass, you know, the corrupted media and everything. And I try to veer away from that. So you know, I want to be able to, you know, help people in a more, you know, I want to help as many people as I can, but in you know, yeah. So.
Yeah, maintaining a balance, a moral balance, or something like that. I imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, doing something and loving doing it and stuff.
Yeah. Truly enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
that's like the big part of the quest. I feel for all of us to find that spot, because I think it's there for all of us. So. Yeah, totally. See, everyone's like nodding along with that. We're just like, yeah. Okay, guys. Did Ashley phase out? Oh, she might have.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, this happens every now and then.
It comes back though, usually.
Yeah. It's just I was saying earlier, it happened in the preview. I'm just like, yeah, it's just like Nightcrawler or something. Okay, guys, I'm gonna just for experimentation, I'm gonna switch on the live. I got my iPad just underneath here, and then I'll switch it around. I'm gonna switch on the live on my Facebook again, which will let more people know that this is happening, and then we'll get another person to do an introduction. I'm thinking, Sam, do you want to go next, maybe, just because I know you'd be able to talk and tell them a little bit about Haven for Humanity and stuff like that. Is that cool?
Yeah, if you guys can hear me well.
Yeah, we can hear you. Cool. All right. And if you want to turn the video on, that works too. And okay, so I'm just going to turn on Facebook Live right now. So, clicking this button, 3, 2, 1, and apparently, oh no, it is working. Okay, cool. So my signal is strong enough, and this is officially a broadcast within a broadcast at this point. And shout out to those of you who are seeing the beginning of this broadcast as a standalone broadcast, because this is the Facebook broadcast within the actual YouTube recording of the real broadcast. So we got broadcast within broadcast within broadcast here, and I'll just show you real quick. You guys can wave to everyone on the internet, guys. They'll see you through this broadcast.
Inception.
So, yeah, see all those little people down there. They can't hear you right now, though, guys, because I have my headphones on. But what I can do is I can switch this up. So I'm gonna mute my mic, turn this around, and I'm going to give you guys who are watching this a chance to tune into the actual Hangout, but the link for that is in the title for this video. So instead of watching this, I want you to just click that link and to go there, because eventually this will crash. It's inevitable. So, but basically within this broadcast, the quick overview, we've been doing introductions, we've heard a lot about what people are working on, their projects. I think everybody in here at this point has already has a YouTube, or everyone who's talked so far has already mentioned their YouTube channels or their videos and stuff that they're doing, indirectly or directly, so it's kind of cool. And again, this is about creating a team of conscious media creators and also people who are building paradigm shift communities where they are, and just using the general term of shifters. It's people who are intentionally helping shift consciousness, and we're going to do some more introductions, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it. So I'm going to turn this around, and we're going to hear from Sam, who is working on an awesome project. And again, we'll hear Sam, what names you want to go by, where he is located, and what he is interested in, how he is helping assist in the shift in consciousness. So again, for everybody watching this, I'm going to post another link in this, and yeah, go watch this through the actual link in the YouTube. Oh, man. Thanks, Facebook. Okay, guys, here we go. 1 second, Sam. I'll tell you when you're good to go live. Okie dokie. Not too bad. Okay, perfect. All right, Sam, go ahead.
All right, hey guys. I'm in upstate New York right now. I'm originally from Jersey. Moved up here about 5 years ago to start an intentional community, basically. Haven for Humanity is a project that we started to be off the grid, to grow our own healthy food, to learn how to live off the land, to reconnect with nature and spirit, and just discover who we really are as beings. So our tagline, we are a self-sustainable wellness education center and eco-village retreat. We are completely self-sustainable. We're off the grid right now. We're running on gasoline generator temporarily, but in the future we will be growing our own algae, which will then ferment into a biogas that we're going to be running our generator off of and all of our appliances off of. We are all healers here in some way or another, nutritionists, health coaches, Reiki masters, teachers. We have permaculture experts in the area. We have, so a lot of experts, a lot of really powerful people, a lot of really great energy and vibes going on. And we're an education center, so we're going to have healing therapies, we're going to have classes, we're going to teach people how to reconnect with nature, teach people how to reconnect with themselves. We're going to employ as many volunteers as possible to do what they do best, and for people who are really spiritual healers like all of you are, would be able to come here and do their practice and basically live here without having to pay for anything. Food will be grown here. All effort will be put in on a daily basis to growing our own food, to providing our own electricity, to providing our own natural gas. We will be just living our own eco-village here, as sustainable as possible. All all the decisions we'll be making will be environmentally sound. We'll be, going, thinking about the environment first and in the ecosystem that we all share first above all else. We have a bunch of buildings that we've already built. We're still working on building more buildings. Construction never stops. Been working on the business plan for the past 2 weeks or so, trying to get that squared away and understood so that we can send that out to investors and possibly get some grant funding. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, so we already have that status, and we've been building and going strong for, well, we've been a nonprofit for over a year now, but we've been building for over 5 years now. And like I said, we're a team of healers that are here because it's the right thing to do, and we're going to offer as much stuff as we can for free. We're going to try to give away everything we can for donation and help as many people as possible.
So
I think I mentioned everything. I mean, I probably forgot a few things, but
so this almost harkens back to the 60s and 70s when there was a first wave that came through trying to create the communes, and this second wave, we're actually doing it. Like you're actually going to make it happen, and it's not going to disappear. It's going to stay, and it's going to grow. So
absolutely, we hope so, man. Thank you.
Rock on, man. All good.
Thank you,
guys. Yeah, that's really awesome, Sam. It's great to hear about the progress that is happening through your project and everything. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah, okay, cool. I just have to... My headphones aren't doing anything right now, so they're just there for show. But basically, yeah, that's Sam. It's really cool to hear that, and you've got a lot of pictures online. Have you guys done much video stuff yet?
No, actually, we're not really very into the to social media. We actually got off of Facebook completely and moved up here, completely disconnected from that social media world, and realized that we have to get back into it now to try to promote Haven for Humanity and try to get people like us really that are interested in it. So I've been photo documenting everything as we're going, but we're really looking forward to having some volunteers up here that are more savvy with social media and videos and things like that, and would be able to sort of do what they're good at to help support Haven for Humanity, which is a big part of what Haven's about, is that everybody is equally important. Whatever skills we have, can benefit the whole community. Whatever passions we have, whatever things we want to do, will be, everybody's ready to do whatever they want to do. So that we're hoping that some volunteers will come up and sort of take over the internet marketing aspect of what we're doing, because we're really looking forward to getting back to nature and reconnecting with nature and teaching people about that aspect of what we do. But cool. It's all important, so.
Well, that's awesome. I know Paul has a question right now, and yeah, man, it's really cool. And again, for people who want to even connect with you, whereabouts specifically would they need to be near, and how do they connect with you guys? And we'll post the links for that in the show notes.
Well, we're in upstate New York. If you're around Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, anywhere in the Northeast, we're within 2-3 hours drive. So we're kind of very centrally located in the Northeast for that.
Yeah.
The havenforhumanity.org has our website, pictures, things like that.
Go on, Ashley. You wanted to speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Ashley, then Paul.
What's funny is I'm actually born in New Jersey. I'm actually from Jersey. My mom is actually from upstate New York. She's actually from Syracuse. So, and I spent some times in the Adirondacks. So it was interesting.
Yeah, we're in the Catskills, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not too far, I don't think.
No, yeah, it's not. It's the same mountain range. We're right there.
Awesome. I think it's great I want to, like, when I'm older, I want to be able to live in a land where I can grow my own food, you know, and really cultivate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Seems like that's the only way to go now in the future. Things are getting more polluted, things are getting more dangerous. It's getting harder and harder to trust companies and corporations out there. So, you know, the best way to do things is to do them yourself. Make your own food. You know, don't take anybody's word for anything, and do things yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Self-sustaining society. That's the future.
That's what we hope.
Yeah, well, believe in it, and it will happen. Two quick things. Number one, unless your name is Skull, you know, you are good at certain things, and, you know, you've got the right idea, the right concept. Is like, I know what I'm good at, and the things I'm not good at, I aim to get other people who love those sort of things, because that's the key thing, isn't it? Love. Is that if somebody's a tech head or a nerd and they love the computer side, that's the sort of person you want to promote your stuff, because they love that sort of stuff. You love, you know, being the healer and doing all the organic stuff, and that's awesome, and that's what you should be doing. Somebody to film it, get somebody who loves that to do it for you, because if you try, I've done my own websites, I've done my own filming, and to be honest, for me, it's a pain in the butt, because it's not what I love, and when it's not what you love, you can only put so much energy in. So when you find other people who can do that for you, you know, get them to do the filming, you know, that's what you need. Ask for, you know, seek for those people. Focus, what you focus on grows. So focus on that type of person. You'll get people who will, you know, bend over backwards to do it, because they love the filming, they love doing that. That's what you need. That, you know, put that intention out there, like on sites like this, and, you know, you definitely need the media side. I'd also suggest, I mean, me and Skull do it. I would also probably suggest Patreon as the funding circle, but you do need to have content for that. I'm seriously seeing this with Patreon. You do need lots of content. You do need a YouTube channel, but it's finding somebody else who will do it for you. And one other quick question. On your right shoulder, is that the seed of life I see, or the fruit of life?
That one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Seed, is it the fruit of life?
It's the seed.
Seed is the seed of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flower.
That's brand new, actually. I just got that a couple days ago.
It's one of the old sacred geometry, and it all spires off from the flower of life. So I know really well, because the dragon dog shaman, the ball under the dragon dog's foot is the flower of life, but then it breaks down to the seed of life, the fruit of life, and all the others. But anyway, I'll shut up now. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Bogey. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the big thing that we're trying to do is really just allow talented and creative people to be talented and to be creative here on our property. You know, we're going to allow people to build their own self-sustainable little huts that they're going to be living in. We're going to build our own little huts that we're going to be living in that are, you know, we're going to spruce them up and have running water and have plumbing and everything that, you know, modern comforts bring us, but at the same time it's all going to be done to better the ecosystem instead of to destroy it. And you know, through that process we will have engineers living here, we will have social media experts living here, you know, techies, sustainability engineers, permaculture experts, gardeners, all people from all walks of life. And, you know, the main point is that we're trying to get back to what it means to really be healthy and really be well as human beings. And it turns out that, you know, if our environment keeps getting polluted and keeps getting destroyed, then we cannot be, we won't be well. You know, we're a part of this environment. We're a part of the same energy that the Earth belongs to. So we have to do our best to, you know, live sustainably and increase the amount of vibration and energy in our area as much as possible so that we can be healthy. So we have health coaches that are going to be taking people through natural lifestyle seminars and classes and things like that to teach people how to reconnect with walking barefoot, how to reconnect with controlling our body temperature so that we don't need to wear clothing as often, reconnecting with just everything that makes us human and everything that we've everything we would have learned naturally had we been brought up in a natural environment, and instead we were brought up with computers and in cities and completely just went off in the wrong direction as far as being healthy and figuring out what it means to be human. So we're trying to bring people back to what it means to be human.
Super cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited to have just been able to have seen this story from the early stages of it too. Like when you guys connected with us, it was like just pieces of wood in a field, more or less, and now it's
yeah,
a fortress and like a temple. Yeah, and really, yeah, like not shying away from actually calling it like a temple in a place, like an intentional, like sacred space for. I'm looking forward to the day of being able to get there myself and being able to visit and spend time.
Looking forward to having you here, man.
Totally, man. And I was going to say, with the media stuff, with the amount of images that you have, because you guys got some great new images that you want to share. That's stuff that we can turn into like short videos in themselves. Just again like with on-screen text and stuff. Like I think getting into the habit of making those short videos is something good because people who may not have the previous editing skills will actually be able to pick up pretty quick on how to do that. Trick is just trying to figure out the best editing software that we can use for people to have access to. There is one that I know of called DaVinci Resolve, which is kind of like an editing software, but it's not going to run on every computer. I'm still waiting for the day where like an editing software is just like a game that you install. I'm surprised it's not like that yet, and it's just like universally more accessible. So, but yeah, in the meantime though, we'll be able to do something like that for sure. Because and even just like featuring your story through the articles, and you've already written some quest journals about Haven for Humanity, and just helping with like future quest journals and updates. Yeah, that's totally content. Because it doesn't have to all be videos. Like that's the thing. Oh, and it looks like our Facebook feed just went down, so that's not too bad. Well, I was actually running for quite a while, and yeah, I was just like filming the screen, but I think it actually worked pretty good. So, cool. May activate that later, but yeah, all that got logged through Facebook live broadcast too. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I feel good with what we've talked about so far related to that. Does anybody else have any comments or just just praise if they want to pass it on?
I have a question.
I'll go first.
I wanted to know if people are living on the property now.
Me and my family are living here now. It's just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad, and my dog. And we have volunteers coming up for a few months at a time. Pretty often. We had one, a friend of ours staying for like a year or two, and then he left for about 6 months. He's coming back now. We have 3 other volunteers coming. Girls coming up from Florida. Somebody's coming from Colorado later in the month. So, and we're not even open yet. I wasn't even expecting to get any interest in this until we were like complete, built and had everything, and we already have so much interest, and it's just really inspiring and so grateful.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of wanted to jump in a little bit, and I don't really talk too much about 3D stuff, but I have a business where I repair cell phones, and that's kind of how I make my money in this physical reality. So I'm really connected into the technology. Pretty much all indigos have that electrical energy to be able to understand how the electronics flow. And in the past lives I've had in Atlantis, the crystals that are inside of cell phones and all electronic devices are basically slaves right now. So the deeper level is when you respect that energy and when you give love to that energy, it actually helps to heal it and it's more harmonious. So what I'm saying is if you need a guy, if you ever need help with electronics, I'm not saying about website stuff, but with electronic energy, just hit me up, let me know, and I'm willing to help you out.
Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, we have a lot of technology that, you know, you're not the first person to mention that to me, actually, that the crystals, you know, crystals have a vibration, they have an energy, they have a being all to themselves. And the way we're using them right now in modern electronics is shameful, you know, really. So yeah, I appreciate it, and we really want to be able to produce our own technologies in the future that don't have that aspect going for them. So you know, sustainable technologies. I have a friend that hand rolls capacitors using beeswax and paper. You know, it's really amazing stuff, and there's really no reason that we are destroying the planet as much as we are in an effort to use high technology. We have the high technology right now to go way beyond what we have right now sustainably and in harmony with the ecosystem, and we're just not doing it. So we're that's our goal. We're going to show people what's possible right here.
Yeah, and if you look at the details of whenever they're releasing the technology for cell phones, we're developing telepathic abilities. Right at the time we're developing telepathic abilities, you have a cell phone, where instead of, you know, needing to go deep into your consciousness to telepathically, oh, you can just use a phone and call. So it can be a hindrance, but it can also be a help, and it's all about the individual person. So yeah, I see that you feel that, you understand that. That's cool, dude. Like, blessings.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You too. Thank you so much. Yeah, I invite you all to if you go to the website havenforhumanity.org, you can click on photo blog, which will take you to our Facebook page, and there's pictures of everything we've been working on since day one. Everything from building the driveway, all the way to building the community center, to building our bioenergy greenhouse, which is going to allow us to be off the grid. That's everything we have built right now. We have our bioenergy greenhouse, our community center, the big shop that we're living in right now, which is going to be used in the future to build sustainable furniture and products that we're going to sell at our thrift shop and barter shop that we're going to have here in the future. And any abundance that we're going to have, which is hopefully a lot, considering we have 40 acres here. We're going to convert all 40 acres to be an edible forest, and through that abundance, we're going to participate in the Farm to School program, getting organic produce in local schools. We're going to sell at local markets. You know, we have a lot of plans in store, and it's you know, people like you guys that make this place possible. So thank you for that.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here again, Sam. It's good to see you. I'm glad everything got connected for you and stuff. That's wicked. Cool.
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare that happens.
Yeah. Birds. Cool. Okay, awesome. Well, we'll definitely hear some more from Sam. And I was just seeing one of the comments actually through the Facebook chat. And somebody was just asking, Martha was saying, how can I start one of what he's doing here in California? So again, you know, I think that's kind of interesting, is that like as you do it, you can sort of say like, hey, if I can do this here, we can do this anywhere, kind of thing. And what does a good simple template for like a mini off the grid community look like in its genesis, and how doable is it and stuff like that. And I think as we get into the idea of buildings becoming, if the technology advances in the way that we build buildings and just using like different tools and things, as that evolves, it will become more interesting to see like how quickly we'll be able to build these new locations and stuff. I mean, theoretically as ideas, but hey, all you need is some land, and there's plenty of places where you could just like buy land these days, and surprisingly cheap. Like, I mean, that's one of the things that I love when you fly on a plane and everything. You realize how much empty space, how much open space there actually is everywhere, like in the United States and just all over the world too. So
yeah, absolutely. When we first started doing this, we were looking for, you know, to pretty much join somebody else that was already doing what we're doing now, and we couldn't find anybody that was successful, and at least not in the United States. You know, there's a few places that are sort of testing different ideas in different locations, but there was nothing really in the United States that was what we were looking for, and we figured that there must be other people looking for similar, you know, situations and similar things. We're you know, like I said, Reiki masters and into the spirit, and into that community. And we know that this is Anastasia. I don't know if you guys know those books, but the Anastasia books. We're really into that community of living off the grid and connecting with our true spirit. And we knew that there must be other people out there that are looking for the same things that we're looking for. So we figured that if a template is all that's needed for people to actually go out and do this, then we'll be the ones to make the template. We'll be the ones to make all the mistakes. We'll be the ones to fall on our face, in an effort to push this out there for other people and to just do what's right. That's all it is, just doing what's right.
Mm-hmm. There's a website that I was going to mention at some point or another, but there's a website out there called newmundo.org. Are you familiar with Newmundo? Wait, how come that didn't show up on my search? Have you heard of that, Sam?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll send you a link for it. Oh, that's weird. Actually, their site appears to be down right now. Yeah, totally. Okay, their site's down, but again, if you go to newmundo.org, and I'll post a link into that, and it's Numundo, so new, Newmundo, Mundo. Mundo.org. But yeah, I like for listeners as well to check that out because basically it's similar to Paradigm Shift. It's really this hub that's mapping together various communities across the world, including like sustainable, self-sustaining communities, yoga centers, like retreat type places, and I think adding yours into the directory there would also be a way to be able to help let people know, because people will find it just by looking through there. And again, like I'm sure there are plenty of people in upstate New York who would be interested in that. And even there's a person in the comments right now, Casey, is actually just asking where in upstate New York. So if Casey's still tuned in, then again, just follow the links on the website and you'll get the specific details to be able to connect through there. But yeah, like I look forward to people to seeing the continuation of your story where, like, hey, theoretically someone listening to this broadcast hears about it and says, like, hey, why not? Like, I can do that. I have the opportunity. And then they go out there and then they meet up with you. And then next thing you know, like, that's the next part of the story is that, like, we see how the shifters are connecting through, like, the digital and the physical world as well. So that's the next parts of the stories. And again, like even reminding people to, in terms of physical locations within the main website, take some time to look at the team map. Again, you can find that through like the heads-up display, the main panel control. There's a button there that says team maps, pretty visible, but that will actually show you. And Sam's actually already in that list of shifters. I believe. Yeah, Sam's already in there. So right now, like I'm clicking on Sam's profile, and I am able to see where he is. And I'm just going to show you guys real quick as screen share kind of what it is that I'm seeing, so that people who are also watching the video of this will just kind of see real quick. So you guys can just kind of see, like, again, this is the map that you can find through the buttons at the top. There's that circle that says team map. You click that, and then you can go here, and then on the side there's like all the lists of the shifters that we've got in, and you can literally see like where Sam's located. So it's like not even a mystery anymore. So I can see that if I'm passing from Albany down to Scranton, I could go say hi to Sam along the way. Absolutely. Cool.
How do you get
who else is there? What's that, Michelle?
How do you get on the map?
The button that says team map over the top.
No. How do you get on the map?
If you created a profile through the website, then you are already in this. Michelle, if yours isn't in here yet, I feel like, yeah, yours is probably just like not added yet because I haven't added everyone's, but yours will be in there eventually. Because there's about everyone who creates a profile through the main website will automatically get added. I just have to manually enter it. But again, you can kind of like see how cool this map is. And even when we kind of zoom out, again, for people who are just listening to the podcast, when you zoom out, you can see like circles with digits and seeing where everyone is. So you guys can see that right now, eh? Like, that's pretty cool.
Community.
And we can zoom in on Dallas, and we can see that there's like a few people here in Dallas. So, oh look, there's Jeff. Who else is in Dallas? And there's Robert. Yeah, and those guys are pretty close to each other. And then who's this over here? It's Marlena.
That's so important for us to
here,
create gatherings to know who's in our community.
So
Yeah.
as the Paradigm Shift Central project evolves, like it will be encouraging us to connect with each other in
You know
real
what's
world
crazy about
opportunities
this?
and
You know what's
events.
really cool is that you know how who has heard the metaphor? I don't know what the beeping is, but who has heard the metaphor about the web of light? Like that we're all like we were talking about it earlier with the grid, right? So we're all these little points. So okay, so still we have to design that map with the gold thread, like we were talking about, and like have the light grid like really show up
Right.
on Earth, and like we can actually have a freaking interactive map where we can contact. Like, freaking dude.
Yeah.
I've actually I had that. It was funny because like when I was out exercising before the broadcast, I actually had that idea of like the map 2.0 being one where like when you create posts and tag people, it would like log it as a story piece of data, and then everyone has their own map, and it would show kind of like where your personal connections are overlaid with like everyone else's connections. And yeah, kind of having like this visual thing that changes over time. But right now it still works damn well. And again, just going back to that real quick, just without even having to show you guys, when you go to the profiles, it connects you to the profiles on the Paradigm Shift Central website, as well as their YouTubes and their Facebooks and their Instagrams. And it also tells you important information such as what they're interested in and what they're interested in learning more about, and as well as their archetypes too. So like the archetypes aspect is really cool. Like again, those of you who sign up onto the website, you get a chance to do that, and this is all part of the real world game. You can see like the actual real world gamification. So I'm just clicking on a random one. So Britt Flowers, her archetype patterns are Cosmic Healer, Visionary Seer, Lucid Dreamer, Neo Gonzo Journalist, Love Ranger, and Psychonaut Explorer. So there's a bunch to choose from, and you can kind of pick yours. And again, it has passions, skills, gifts, interested in learning more about, and also of course our astrological signs and our primary elements being Earth, Water, Wind, or Fire. And yeah, through that you can see like by studying the map, we can actually get to know like who each person is, and you can kind of see like ahead of time, be like, oh, like awesome, you know, like I'm looking forward to connecting with that person, or that's just a person who I want to message over Facebook, or like, hey, that's the same guy like from the Hangout that I heard the other day. So like, you know, for example, like, oh, there's Paul's profile that I click on, and then Paul's got like a write up and it tells you about what he's into and stuff. So yeah, I mean, this is all just, again, very logical, very streamlined, but again, reintroduction for the map aspect for those who haven't been tuned in the past, and you can explore it on your own. And we'll talk more about the intentions of the website. The long story short of it, I just want to remind you guys that I invite you to get in the habit of creating quest journals, potentially like once a week. If you want to kind of just like give yourself like a bit of a goal, try to get at least one a week. And then again, you can sort of take time with it. It doesn't have to be like something you rush into. You can say, think, what am I going to post this week, and what am I going to post with intention? And again, you know, for Indigo Jack, like it could be one of his videos that he's already created, right? So when you do that, it gets logged into the 3D timeline. And while we're at it, I'll just show you guys the 3D timeline real quick. Again, like if you're already on the website, you can go and you can see it, but just showing you guys real quick who are watching within this Hangout, like this is our 3D timeline. It may not load fully right here. Normally those images are there, but again, you can switch from 2D mode to 3D mode, and you can kind of see what it is that we're creating. So the images are kind of loading there. And you can see like this is creating as an archive. So like regardless of when someone joins the website, they can kind of skim through here. And it's very interesting for us to study as well and say like, hey, what were we doing and sharing and talking about back in February, back in March? And you can see like already there's so, yeah, there's Michelle's. There's Michelle's. See, she saw it too. She's like, that's my article. Exactly, right? So yeah, you guys can start to see like how this is really exciting and a cool way for us to celebrate each other's creations. So encouraging you guys to create quest journals as frequently as you choose. And the other incentive behind creating the quest journals is also, this may be new news for you guys, but again, the shift buttons that you guys can get through supporting the Patreon. When you sign up for the Patreon, you get the Shifter Booster Kit, and I'm going to be making those tomorrow. I'm going to be making a bunch of them, and you can get as many as you want when you sign up for however much you want within the supporting of the monthly donations. But what I'm getting at is that for those who are either signed up or otherwise, what I want to do is create an energy exchange. So when you guys create a quest journal, at the end of the month, we tally how many quest journals we made, and for every quest journal that you have, you get a token that's equal to 5 shift buttons. So you can see, so you can exchange. I'll keep track. Like at the end of each month, I'm literally going to go track and see like who. Yeah, so it's a little incentive, right? And then the cool part is that you can actually trade these. So you can actually pass these on. So you can be like, hey, you know, I wrote like 3 quest journals this month. That's 15 shift buttons, but I don't really need them. So I'm going to like give them to someone else, and then you just tell me, and then we'll send that package to someone else who maybe isn't able to afford shift buttons. So you can see like how that's kind of a cool thing. And basically I just gotta get in the habit of like making a bunch of shift buttons all at once, and then we'll be able to do that. And as the crowdfunding sustains itself, like the shift buttons become this currency, this energy currency within the community that actually has real world value. And again, you can actually exchange shift buttons in your real world opportunity for items, for crafts, for goods and services. I know people who have traded shift buttons for like couches, for jewelry, for sandwiches. Like literally, they were traveling and they went to a restaurant. They're just like, I don't have money, but I'll give you a button. And they're just like, all right, here, have a sandwich. So saving lives with shift buttons. And again, the shift buttons, you combine those when you do free hugs, and they're extra effective. Someone comes up, they give you a hug, you give them a shift button, or you leave them on the streetcars, you leave them in places. You let synchronicity sort of do its thing. That's kind of the power behind them. And state the obvious, the shift buttons have the website for this project, so it links people back into this. So again, when you sign up for the Patreon, and I'll post a link into that for you guys here, and that will get you as many shift buttons as you ask for. So literally, like if you guys just want 20 to start with, that's cool, but if you want like 40 or 50, just let me know. I just have to make them, and then I'm getting them to you, and I'm sending them out this month. And the only other news related to the Patreon, and then we'll just move on to other stuff, but Patreon sends out it collects donations once a month at the end of each month. So right now we're actually working on, state the obvious, earning as much within the team fundraising before the end of the month. And then that will come through at the beginning of the month. So that's just kind of like a mini goal. So right now we're at about 417. I was going to round it up to 420, which is rounded up to 420 there. That is where we're at, and our next milestone is at 515. But even still, the 420 isn't 100% accurate, because some people are already signed up, but like their credit card bounced or something, so it says it can't get the transaction. So I know we actually have about close to like $490 worth of donation. I just have to contact those people individually. And again, like that money is going to supporting like basic website costs to begin with, is going to support the production of buttons, and it is also going to support myself as an artist for the backlog and the back time. And again, turning this into a self-created entrepreneurial adventure for myself, where I can do this full time, which is my dream. And as the funds really increase, again, right now we're at 400. Once we get up to like 1,000, 1,500, and 2,000, that's when we start getting into the idea of doing tours and even more free shift buttons for people. And again, new tech upgrades, additional things within the website, lots of cool stuff. And we'll be able to talk about like how we want to use the crowdfunding money, and also the money will be going into Facebook promotion, which will be promoting all of our content as well. It will be going to help fire the laser through the internet. So again, you know, say someone releases a new song. It will be awesome when we're at the point where we don't even have to think about it, and we're just like, all right, yeah, like drop $20 worth of promotion into that. And like in Facebook terms, that's a decent amount. And basically like what it is like nowadays, like you kind of have to play within these rules and stuff. And as our page grows and the image memes, like that will help build the audience at its core level, but those promotions are helping us get the message out there, and that is our goal. And if it means paying for it in some ways, we will, but there are other social media strategies, and that's where teamwork and again like creating content that can link people back to everyone's content. Every time something goes out from the website, it brings people into the website, which connects people with everyone's content. So you can see again, like very simple, logical, but very cool way of supporting each other as a community. Every time you create something and you add it to the website, you are helping the whole team when you think about it that way. So it's really cool. And you get tokens for shift buttons. So see people nodding along with that. There's like, yeah, shift buttons.
Yes!
Buttons, yeah, cool. I'll show you guys some of the buttons later. But anyways, I want to be able to...
Visual belly.
Paul's been through a bunch of shift buttons. He's gone through a couple packages of them by now, so yeah.
That actually this weekend I've got there's 2 children, 2 sisters with leukemia, I think, and their parents are doing a a fairy festival to generate money for them to go to Disneyland. And so that's this weekend. So I'm taking a free hug sign, a load of shift buttons, and my lightsaber. I'm not dressing up as a fairy though. Not this time.
Fairy Jedi.
Maybe next
Come
time.
on, Paul.
Fairy
Do it for the
Jedi.
kids. Put on the fairy outfit.
It was nice meeting you guys. I'm gonna head off to bed in a bit, so get ready for my day tomorrow. But it was nice meeting you guys. Take care.
You too.
Blessings.
Ashley.
Awesome.
soon.
Thanks again, Ashley. And yeah, well, I got the links for your YouTube, so people can check that out. And yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I'm subscribed already.
Perfect.
Come visit. You're not too far away.
I know. Definitely. Take care, guys.
All right,
Talk to you
thanks again,
soon.
Ashley. See you. Bye.
All right, bye.
Cool. Okay, so moving on with introductions, we still do have another person who is in the Hangout who is going by the name Diego right now. We did have another person, Shane, but they dropped out. But I hadn't heard them do an audio check, but that's okay. They're always welcome back to join. And we'll go through, if Diego wants to do an introduction and just share who they are, we'll do that. And then we'll move into free-range conversation, and then we'll move into a tarot card draw, and then we'll move into a closing meditation, and then we'll actually be about ready to wrap this up. And yeah, we'll call it a night and save some energy for tomorrow, and we'll actually kind of segue this with a meditation that will like move us into dreaming or go to sleep and stuff like that, or wake up and watch the sunrise, whatever works. So yeah, and these were just for visual reference. These are some of the shift buttons, so you can see how big they are. 2¼ inch, and that one's got the logo, that one's got the pentagram, as well as like other ones that have other digital like number frequencies on them, like 6s and 7s and 8, and that's the Eye of Ra. And again, it's like the gold version of the pentagram. And there's other ones that I got in my bag, but again, just showing you the size of those. And wear them, share them, use them, plant seeds with them. They're super awesome. And having them is like part of the real world game. You can think of them as like quest items. So sign up for the Patreon again at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton when you can. And yeah, that's super greatly appreciated. Cool, guys. I was going to say we'll pass it over to Diego. Does Diego want to unmute themselves and test their microphone and say hello if they are there? Possibly they are not there. So Diego, if you're there, feel free to just drop in at any point to say hello. Other than that, though, we can kind of go back to a couple ideas I just wanted to brainstorm with you guys related to conscious media and kind of like thinking about maybe things that we see ourselves creating within the next little bit. So does anybody want to share anything that they sort of like anything related to conscious media, like maybe Michelle, if you have like a video that you might be thinking about doing, or again, it doesn't necessarily have to be video, but let's brainstorm. Let's practice brainstorming here for a minute. What's some conscious media that we can practice, that we can talk about, and theoretically even get out there within the next couple weeks?
So I'm writing an article right now about love, and what it came through me as a beautiful mess yesterday. Actually, I had a very heart-opening experience. Like I was working normal, and then all of a sudden all this stuff came out, and a lot of my life work is about love without being attached to the other person, and really what the wisdom that I can share from that is I'm in a space where I am recognizing my cat's coming to ground me. I am so there's a concept. So the title of the article is called "Whole into Myself," and so it's really about our alignment. So getting into our alignment. Well, you know what? It doesn't have to. I don't have to talk about what it's about. So so yeah. So that's basically it. Is that it's the flirting with the like being completely in love and knowing that my connection to the divine is love, and then that fuels me, and when I keep that integrity, then I can be able to be present with other people and exchange love with them no matter what is happening, and there's no need for it, there's no grasping, there's no lack, and like that's the most important thing. And it's beautiful because you know how when we create these things, like there's all these reflections of it in our outside space. So like people have been like sending me things that are like very attachy, and so I'm just noticing that. So that's working through me at the moment, and I'm grateful to be able to transmute that and to give that. So I hope by the new moon, depending on if I make the video about it as well, but that's the article it's percolating right now through me. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Do you have a working title for it yet?
Yeah, it's called Whole Unto Myself. And it really, I've had like a revelation like in the last like 2 weeks, I'll say, that was like, because I did work on it, of feeling like that aloneness and that separation, and then that transmutation of that by the grace of God, to recognize that, like, it's such a choice that we can shift into our remembrance of our a fullness. And that's like the difference. That's the difference. That's the only difference. It's like if you look at yourself and you're like not full, versus like you look at yourself and you're completely full, and then you're able to be present with another person, and you're full, and it feels so good, and it's so different. It's a different freaking space to connect with people from. And
That's awesome. That's really cool. I like how you're like leaning towards writing things is something that you're familiar with already at this point, and I think that's good, because again, like we're talking about videos and stuff, but yeah, like writing a good article is something, again, for me, it really goes into like a meditative process of listening. Like you have enough time to sit there in front of your keyboard and you're like, what do I want to say next? And it becomes very intentional when you start breaking it down, but at the same time very free flow as well. I do want to let you respond to that. I just wanted to say, I know Sam, you got to head out in a couple minutes, eh?
Yeah, dude. My 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes left.
Okay, cool. Michelle, anything else you want to share? Or Sam, was there anything else you wanted to share before you left, Sam?
Yep.
Okay,
there
go.
It is. I just wanted to say, in the same vein as New Mundo, there's also the Valhalla movement, and Hugs, which is Humans Unifying Global Solutions, all people that we want to network with in the future who are doing similar things that we're doing, or hoping to do similar things that we're doing, and they're networks into networks. So
totally. Were you tuned in last night, Sam? Did you get to tune in?
Yeah, that's where I found out about Hugs.
Yeah. So Hugs was on the Paradigm Shift Radio 133. Some of you guys would have heard Tom on there, but yeah, no, that's good. I'm going to be communicating with them, and yeah, we'll be able to cross-reference and share some interviews. But yes, New Mundu, is the website still down? Yeah, it's still down. That's unusual. They must be updating or something. So, but they do have a Facebook page. People will be able to find it. I'll post a link to that, and Hugs website as well, which is hugs.world. Yeah, just hugs.world. So cool. All right, Sam, would you see possible for you to maybe take a couple new pictures and write a new quest journal within a week from now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just supposed to be gone for the next week, and that plan was canceled. So I'll be, pretty much have an open week ahead of me, and I'll be able to definitely get more into that. And kind of wish I could stick around longer to talk about this too, because like I wanted to start doing like a video blog diary sort of thing about what's going on here, and my personal thoughts and stuff about what's going on here and what we're doing here. I just really didn't know where to start, and how to just get how to get going with it. So yeah, I'll definitely check this video out tomorrow and see what you guys talk about.
Cool. Well, I think again, like with the videos, like in terms of what you're talking about, just going back to the idea of practice, see what happens when you turn a camera on yourself. At the very least, just bring it back to your intention. Think like, what is my intention with this video? And yes, it is just to like see what I might say, but also you're like, what do you want the viewer to get out of it? Sort of thinking of it as like, what is the nutritional value of this video? And I think there is a lot of nutritional value to just being raw and being real and sharing what it is that you're doing, and like being proud of it as well. So yeah, I think your videos, I'll be definitely looking forward to checking those out. No pressure. They'll happen when they happen. So find that, like, wait till the sun's just right and you're out there and take a full breath, and yeah, and if anything, try practicing keeping a video to like less than 5 minutes. It's easy to sometimes have it turn into like a 25-minute video, but if you can keep it even under 3-4 minutes, then I think that will be the thing, and less is more in that case. So yeah, that would just be my simple tips for you.
All right.
And anyone.
All right. I already got some ideas from that. So
cool.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. Yeah, show them around a bit. Give them a bit of a tour.
Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate your love, your support, your healing, your energy. You guys are beautiful. Keep it up.
Awesome. We got this, man. All right. We'll talk to you later, dude.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
See you later, Sam.
And I will post Sam's profile into the links as well in the live chat, and also for us in the Hangout as well, for those of you who aren't connected with Sam already. But it's facebook.com/sam.kovalov. I can't pronounce his last name. KOVALYOV. And yeah, feel free to add him there. And again, havenforhumanity.org is the website. And also on Facebook, you can find that link through there. So cool. Yeah, at this point, we'll just kind of bounce around a little bit more. Shane actually did join back in, so we can... Shane, if you would like to do a little bit of a hello to the camera, no pressure. And I guess you've been kind of watching, you've kind of been seeing, but you can totally still do an introduction. We'll wrap up the show soon-ish, and we'll do a tarot card drawing again. But yeah, if you want to say hello, you can just like tell us your name, where you're from, maybe some of the things you're interested in, and how you're helping shift paradigms. And again, that can be your studies, that can be your art, whatever you're learning right now, whatever. So cool. So go ahead.
Hi, hi, I'm Skylar. I'm not actually Shane, but
Hi, Skylar.
hi. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say too much. I just kind of wanted to listen. Quite honestly, I'm a little nervous, so it's just kind of like getting comfortable in front of like camera, I guess.
Yeah.
Like people, and I definitely need help with communications. I don't know how to communicate anything right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing. It's yeah, like it's totally cool. And like I think the important thing with this is just remembering that this space actually is created for practice. So I mean, obviously this is like something new for you, but totally it's a place for a lot of new people to show up and to go through this same process of being like, what the hell am I supposed to say? Or like, oh, I don't want to say like anything I'm gonna regret. But at the same time, as Michelle or Paul or even Indigo will be able to tell you, when you just kind of observe maybe those thoughts, you can almost turn that into a meditation and be like, why, what, am I getting in my own way? And then sometimes just through like a breath and a meditation, and then responding to a simple question. So if you do want to say something, I would just like ask you like what are some things that you're personally interested in, or what are some things that you're passionate about, if that's something you would want to tell us about. Any like shifty topics or...
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know, just love, I don't know. This
Yeah.
is kind of what is, so, okay. Oh my gosh.
Take your time.
I have a question for everybody about this.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of more specific about the third eye. I've been having trouble with my third eye. It's quite open, actually. Kind of silly. I can like feel people kind of talking with my third eye, so I'm kind of confused. Like I'm getting overwhelmed. Like I have to cover my forehead. I don't know. I'm kind of just freaking out a little bit. So, I don't know.
It sounds like you need to be clear. Like you need to be clear.
Have you focused on trying to open your third eye? Has that been like something you've really been trying to do?
In the past, yes, definitely.
Yeah, so what I've seen a lot of people, that they focus so much on trying to open their third eye, for using their free will to open that energy, but when that energy center is opened, before the divine timeline is supposed to be, it actually causes more negative sometimes than we would desire. So we're all protected. Like, I've seen certain people that have a protective energy over their third eye by Jesus. And I see this. It's like a seal, right? And I'm like, Jesus, what's it? And they're like, I want to open this when they're exactly at that point where they're ready. Because sometimes when it gets open too early, it can actually, we can see some dark stuff, some things that we're not really energetically ready for, that can really poison us on certain levels, that can make us feel like it's not a safe thing or space, you know? So just flow with your heart, flow with your soul. Don't push things. Just flow with the divine timing, and everything will do itself on its own. It's just like when a baby's being born. It's not forced. It just flows and it happens. So.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks. Great. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think Michelle actually had something in response to that as well. Michelle, you're muted right now. But Shane, oh, okay, Shane dropped out. So, well, that's totally all right. And we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm connected with her through other means and stuff like that. But shout out to Shane. And yeah, like I think it's interesting, and I think that question that she asked was interesting. Yeah, I would have been curious. Michelle, what would you have said?
Well, I want to know what Paul would have said, because we can definitely answer that question, because that question was like a divine messenger, right? So we'll answer that question for other people who are hearing.
Yeah,
I went through a phase like that, just to be real, in my own life, where I was.
Mute yourselves.
What's that? Oh.
Yeah, everyone not talking, mute yourselves so Michelle's mic works properly.
So there was a definite phase in my astral development as my chakras were opening, where I could hear different frequencies of energy that weren't, it's like a growth spurt where you're not completely like solidified yet, and so therefore you pick up like a radio, you know, other things or other frequencies that are pretty much not for your benefit, not really for your detriment, but they do get confusing. So what you learn to do is ground your energy every morning, and you sit on the earth and you ground and you tune yourself in all of your chakras into this little sacred egg, which you do with meditation, or you do with grounding your roots and all of that. And also, what I'm actually getting a message to say is like, pull it back. Clearing yourself is so important, like clearing your energy. So when I was like a budding psychic, like learning how to clear myself with sage was like super, and I do it all the time now. It's like non-negotiable. You have to have like rituals that clear your psychic energy from the matrix, because when you're an indigo or an empath or anything, you pick up stuff in your aura, and then what I was talking about in a different way is then you learn that there's nothing really to protect yourself from, and you can be a beacon of love. But there, in my humble life experience, I had to go through a phase where I was learning how to wield my own energy field before I became like this, like, well, and working on still being like a radiant beacon of light. And so salt baths, like learning grounding techniques and like clearing our own energy will prevent us from being full of things that aren't really us, but they're vibrationally like get stuck to us, you know? And so if anybody's going through that, I would say like go get cleared by somebody you trust who's a healer. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think that actually is like a really interesting and also tricky question, because everyone's going to sort of be having their own subjective experience relative to like what an open third eye feels like for them and stuff. And you know, like I mean, yeah, like what does that mean to people? Like it's sort of like hearing things but not hearing things with your ears. It's picking up on extra information in some way. Again, it would be an interesting thing to sort of explore as a discussion, but we just want to be mindful of any advice that we are sharing with people, especially in just advice for the people who are also receiving it. You know, like, is it the responsibility of the person sharing it, or is it the responsibility of the person listening to it to decide what advice they're taking for them? But ultimately, just like being respectful and mindful of like what somebody may or may not be experiencing. Because I mean, yeah, it could almost be, it could almost have some like trauma related to it, which is a very sensitive thing that you're going to want to deal with in a very like mindful and conscious way. But I really respect. Sorry, it wasn't Shane. Sorry, what was, I forget. I apologize. I forget her name. Her name was Shane on here. And 1111 through the live Stargate portal going through the Stargate portal. It's 11:11 right now, is what I was saying. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say shout out to her for like coming on here and sharing, because I think she also is a reflection of other people who may be going through similar circumstances and who aren't here to ask those questions. And I think it's an important thing is that when we really honor our story, even though she may be going through something that could be recognized as challenging right now, ultimately, like, there is the opportunity for her to move through her path, to find her way. And then what I'm getting to is the idea that her story can actually be medicine for other people who may be experiencing other things. You know, like, I'd like to see her write an article about like my, you know, like symptoms of exposed third eye or something like that, or you know, like how to deal with an over open third eye or something, right? Like, because it's not something that's immediate within my reality, but it could be it could be, you know, valuable information to other people. And whether or not it will have like one solution or not, at least knowing that people aren't alone, and in some ways there are simple solutions. I think like what Michelle said in terms of grounding, I think some of that could be like things. My obvious suggestions would be, again, yeah, like grounding and even diet and like practicing meditation and like setting and being around people and also being able to talk about it. And yeah, it's something that I don't have this one answer to, but I think it's an important question for us to explore. And in some ways it is new territory. You know, we're kind of, each one of us kind of has to play, again, you know, like our own, like, I sort of shy away from using the term psychologist, but we are talking about like the mind, and we are talking about like conditions of awakening as well. Conditions not just of awakening, but conditions of like being a spiritual being within this physical reality, and what happens sometimes, and sometimes what we refer to as having an overexposed third eye happens. One thing I'll just mention, and then I know Michelle wants to jump in here. I think a little paradigm shift that we can actually play around with, guys, within the community. Instead of referring to the third eye as the third eye, to refer to the third eye as the first eye, because it obviously is. Like, the second you think about it, it's just be like, well, shit, duh, like, what? And it's like taking us this long to figure it out. So, and it literally did come first, you know, like even as like a fetus is growing, like the pineal gland, or actually I'm not entirely sure, maybe the actual pupils develop and then the pineal gland develops. Actually, I think it probably is that way, but again, sitting there right in the middle, calling it the first eye, a primary eye, because it definitely is receiving a lot of information all the time. And again, it's a very sensitive thing. And it makes sense that there are these possibilities where people have like an overexposed third eye, whether it's through just like who they are. Again, you know, I know people who have, like, that's their story. Like, to them, they don't see empty space. And whether they're like diagnosed with synesthesia or something else, like, that reality is very real to them. And some people live with it, but some people also go through it as like a symptom that can almost, again, be sort of addressed, and if it's something that they're like working on, like shifting through and everything. Like, I think it's interesting for any of us to just think about that. It's how does our perception of reality actually shift as we shift? For example, do colors change? Do things become more vibrant? Do we hear things differently? Do we feel things differently? The answer to all of those, I would say, is yes, in varying ways. So yeah, Indigo, I know you got something to add, so go ahead, and then Michelle can jump in after.
So this goes back to the Bible verse that I want to say. It's Matthew 6:22. I'm not really too much into religion, but there are some sacred scripts here. It says, "The eye is a lamp of the body. So then, if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light." It's like we're looking at this third eye as a gate to your crown chakra, and once you start to open up this third eye, it's bringing in the energy from your crown, which is going into your soul, which is opening up all these different energies. It's like Nikola Tesla said, your mind is a receiver for the universe. So until your receiver's ready to be opened, then you got to be careful. Like, you can actually use your free will and focus so much and meditate so much and get it, but it's almost your own free will is taking it outside of the divine timeline. And if you just let it happen naturally like it's supposed to, then you'll be ready exactly for what you're seeing when that time comes.
Mm-hmm. Cool, thanks, Indigo. Michelle, go ahead if you, or Paul's got his finger up too. I think Paul had his finger up earlier actually, but I'll let you guys duel it out or something. Both of you guys got lightsabers, I presume.
Ladies first.
Yeah. No. Okay, I'll say what I was going to say, which was just that we have to have psychic. We have to become our own doctor for our psychic self just as much as our physical body, and that was in reply to what Skull was saying. But Paul, I would love you to speak on this topic.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember her name as well. I do apologise. I remember Shane, but I know that's not Shane. But anyway, I think the biggest thing, you know, everything we've said is all really important. Yes, clearing. You know, that whole point is when it first turns on, it's like turning on a radio and you're forgetting the volume. It blasts out and all this, you know, static, all these radio stations coming at once for different people, different ways. I think the biggest thing for Shane was actually fear. Is that, you know, this is happening and there's part of it, you know, in Muggle world, in the normal world, part of her is saying this is not normal, this is bad, or this is scary, and you could see, I could see her getting, you know, nervous about it. You know, it's all this information's coming in, and she said she'd have to put her hand, you know, blocking the third eye, trying to turn it off. And I think, you know, with the fear, it's like the volume getting stuck, that you're trying to desperately turn it down and you can't turn it down. And it's about relaxing, about softening up, which is another form of grounding, another form of connecting to the earth, connecting to the heaven. And as I'm pretty sure Michelle said it, once you get more advanced, you realise that you don't need to ground because you are the earth, you are the heaven, you are everything. So that eventually you can tune into these energies and you can focus and bosh, it's there. But it's like the old Mr. Miyagi, wipe on, wipe off. You start off from the beginning, you work up. But I think a real important thing is that I'm doing the videos and getting on the videos on YouTube and whatnot, and one of the biggest things is about the ego in intention. In the Chinese, they call it monkey mind, and Buddha mind, or Taoist thought. Taoist thought is intuition. You have to meditate, you have to be quiet to hear your intuition. The monkey mind is very loud and it shouts. Now, they're both you. You are in the middle. Think of the Tai Chi symbol. One side's monkey mind, one side is a Buddha mind or Taoist thought, and you're in between. You're the bit floating in the middle. They're both you. They're not, you know, the devil and the angel. These outside forces. They are shades of you. So that fear is you, and it's guiding you. You just have to listen to it in the right way. And when you pull back and relax and you know, try to pull away from the fear and just go, well, hold up a minute, you know, this can't be bad, this can't be, you know, it's different, but this can't be bad, because all things in essence are part of the universe. You know, we're afraid of death, but death is a cycle to something else. If everybody knew or remembered that they live over and over and over again, then why would you be afraid of death? Why would you be afraid of anything? Because you'd actually go, no, sod it. I want to create this. I want to create a Buddhist temple made out of marshmallows. I want to go surfing in the sky on a rocket. You would do your wildest dreams. But it's the fear that holds you back. It's the fear that, oh no, society won't accept it, or parents won't accept it, this won't accept it, that won't accept it. And it's letting go of that fear. And so I think for her, I think that was the biggest thing, is sort of relaxing and saying, no, this is cool. This is cool. It's chill. Just, breathe with it, let it flow. Yep, it's really noisy because you're getting anxious, and just try to ease off from the anxious, like to breathe, let your mind be still, and that will disconnect from the noise. That will allow you to turn the volume down a bit. I think that would do. Hey, what do I know?
Well, that is so beautiful to hear. Like, it's for a good reminder for me too, brother. Like, I mean, in my daily life, like in everything that I was just applying that to everything I've been learning. It's always about that. It's always about how much we trust the universe, right? And how much we let love in. And then our life is way easier. Yeah, so thank you. I loved hearing that.
Yeah.
If you love the universe, it will love you back. Go with the flow.
Yeah, and again, like I think when we go through moments where we feel like we're out of alignment, being able to look at those as lessons of like how to self-heal are very important. It's just like, oh shit, like maybe I have a cold, or maybe my third eye is like feeling really weird, but knowing that you can, if it feels like you're out of alignment, that you can find that balance again. How do you find that balance? And yeah, it really does come down to self-love. And I think sometimes when you like have gratitude for what you're going through, it actually puts like this weird switch within the matrix, where the matrix is just like where prior to that, if it's like putting you through a situation and you're just like resist, the universe is just like, bah! But as soon as you're just like, give it to me or something, it's just like, bring it on, or just pour it all over me, then the universe is just like, they have learned, and then it like lets off, and Michelle's laughing her chakras off right now.
Pour it all over me. I was like,
pour it all over me. Yeah. Universe.
As you were saying,
the shin from earlier.
As you were saying that, my necklace fell off my neck and fell to the ground,
weird.
and I just said, "That's supposed to be."
That's funny. I'll give a little bit of context here, and then I have to walk away. I just heard my dog bark real quick, and I'll let you guys keep talking about this, and we'll get close to wrapping up, and we'll do a tarot card draw soon. But I was going to say, within like whether it's the actual third eye opening too fast, I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on this. But I've had personal reference to something similar to that most people can relate to, is what happens when we stand up too fast. Or say, for example, this is literally what happened yesterday. I was like at hot yoga class. Michelle, this is super serious. Have you ever had those moments where you just stand up too fast? But no, like she's laughing so much here. I want to unmute her anyways. But anyways, she can't focus here. Breathe, Brendan, breathe. Getting dizzy. Okay, so what I was saying though is that actually what happened yesterday in my yoga class, at the beginning of the class, I got in there early, and then I went into like Vipassana, just lying on my back, and I was like, meditating and everything. And then the class starts, and we do simple rolls on the ground, and eventually it's like, all right, stand up and do mountain pose. And like when I stood up, like there was like a good like 30 seconds where I was just like, okay, like if I move too fast right now, like I could faint. And like it felt like that, and I'm just like total like don't resist this, just like breathe, kind of go into a stillness even though I was standing, and actually noticing like within my perception that things were like very psychedelic, and there was just like this unstableness and warbliness to my vision, and without being too overwhelmed by it, because like I knew that if I were to just be in that moment, and if I were just be like oh my god, like I feel like I'm gonna faint, if I were to like totally give into that, then it actually would feed that thought process, and then that would actually cause me to faint, and I would just be, it would just be this self-feeding cycle where it's just like, I think I might faint, I'm totally fainting right now, and then because I have fainted before, and I remember like way back when I was younger, and I remember it was like kind of something similar to that, but to be in that moment, and again, like that's not like a super common thing, but it was just like my first yoga class that I had done in a while, and for whatever reason it happened, but I kind of got that little lesson out of it. Yeah, for me it's just kind of an example that people may have, that whether we're referring to that as our third eye, like having that experience, or even just like our internal equilibrium being thrown off or something, but it's definitely something happening that is ultimately like an accumulation of all of our chakras adding up together, or those sleep variations. But yeah, I'd just be curious, like within that, like whether, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that or anything. Indigo, go ahead. And then Michelle.
Well, through my personal life, I had an experience where there was a next door neighbor that had cancer, and it says in the Bible, love your neighbor. And I would go over there all the time and hang out with a guy and just chill and do whatever. And there was one evening where I just looked at him and I was like, Can I help you? Can I give you a healing? Can I do something for you? He goes, sure. So I just went over and gave him a hug. I just gave him this powerful hug, and I was just in my own heart, in my own mind. My heart opened. It was almost like I couldn't even control it. My heart opened for the love, the feeling of this neighbor guy, and I just, and all of a sudden, all this negative energy got sucked into me, down into my solar plexus, and all this negative energy came into me. And that was the first lesson where I learned that our free will can be used to create things when we have this power that's God's given us. But we can't use our free will to do things that are outside of divine will. So we have to have the spark, the initiation that comes from God, like something from God that has to be laid on our heart to make it happen. And if we're just doing it from our own free will, it will have negative karma that comes against us. So the guy, he had all this manifestations come out, like he had a big huge bulge in the back of his heart because it cleared so much energy. It was like a pimple that was the size of my palm, like it was huge, and it was coming out. It was clearing all the negative energy, like all the entities came out, so it started clearing all the negative energy. But then he said, hey, I'm gonna go do chemo. And I'm like, don't do chemo. Like, you need to go on this vegetarian diet, you need to get more alkaline, you need to do all this stuff. And he's like, no, that's what my doctor told me. I'm like, well, I really would advise. He goes, he was an old school dude. No, I'm not doing that. I'm like, it freaked me out. So the long-term story is he died from cancer, and I wasn't able to help. So when you use your own, we have abilities, but my heart did open, and it was love, but it wasn't something that got triggered. So now, whenever I do healings, I say, I gotta wait for that feeling. I gotta wait for the angelic energies to come down to say, boom, and put that feeling in my heart. And that's my lesson. That was years and years and years ago, but that's the lesson. Just like that's how I understand about the third eye. You can use your own free will to do things in this world that can have negative effects. And when you use your own free will to do things that's outside divine will, it gives you the karma that they had. So all those negative entities that were in my solar plexus that I pulled from him, I had to personally work through for years to clear all that energy out. And it was horrible in my personal life. So the deeper level is, when the student's ready, the teacher will arrive. So that's my wisdom.
And mighty wisdom it is too. Yep. The whole thing of negative energy, again, that's another lesson. At first, we encourage people to ground, root, draw, breathe in chi, breathe out char. Eventually, you learn, or you can learn, that char can turn into chi. You take, pardon my French, you take shit, you can turn it into manure and grow beautiful flowers. So eventually, whatever you believe is true, you can harness that, you can turn that into something else. It's another lesson. But what you went through was a lesson. That's the point, is that you learn things from it. So if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have learned from it. That's the point. But then, so from that is, right, okay, I can do it another way. But divine intervention, you can blast somebody with 10 tons of chi. If they're not willing, if it's not meant to be, if they're not willing to let it happen, it doesn't matter. there's a whole thing of, well, there's two things. There's a whole thing of, like people say about, oh, faith healing, it only works if I believe it does. Yes, that's true. Though there is a twist to that tale, and the twist is that if you were the patient, I'm the healer. My belief is stronger than your disbelief. I can definitely make things happen, but if you continue down that same path, you'll get ill again. It'll come back because that's the path you're choosing to go through. And that's not good or bad. It just is. It is what it is. You know, is my bit of a personal story. My father got throat cancer. He was a builder, and it was asbestos. He got throat cancer. And he very much believed, no, chemotherapy, radiology, that's the route I'm going to go. Don't really believe in my stuff, don't really understand it. That's the route I'm going to go. So I'm in the background doing my stuff, blasting away. That was 10 years ago. 95% of throat cancer, people with throat cancer die within 2 years. Again, that was 10 years ago. It could have been me, it could have been divine intervention, it could have been the poodle sitting down the road. It is what it is. You know, things happen the way they do. For me, Taoistically, that's just it, is just go with the flow. I helped, I didn't help, doesn't matter. I send that energy out, I send that love out. Qi, Jing and Shen, I fire it through. It's up to that person, their higher dimension, their higher selves, whether they accept it or not. I can give you a bunch of beautiful flowers. It's up to you whether you throw them in the bin or you put them in a vase and look after them. You know, it's other people's choice. You know, what I choose to do is up to me. What you choose to receive is up to you. But hey, what do I want to know?
No, that's beautiful, man. And for me, what I learned was we have personal will, and there's divine will. And when you use your personal will to do things, even if your heart activates to do beautiful stuff to help the world, if it's outside of divine will, that divine will is going to happen no matter how much you try, and no matter what love you have, and no matter what things you do, and how many powers you have, divine will is going to happen. And it will teach you that to be guided by that divine will and to not do anything that's pushing against that, you know?
Well, for me, just very quickly, that divine will is that, for me, part of that divine will is that other person. Because if they are going to close off and refuse, it's too much for them, or can't handle this, they'll shut down. And, you know, like the lovely lady did, you know, it was obviously too much, she had to go. That's fair enough. But we're here, you know, I think very much us guys are definitely will always be around. So when people want to come back, or when people want to, you know, say, yep, I'm shining my light, way, and you know, when you're ready, I'm here, you know. And if you're not ready, there's other people who have different light, who you may understand in a different way. It's like jokes, you know. You might not get my jokes because I'm from the UK, but there's somebody else with a joke that you will get. And jokes are about humour and love, and that's the whole point. You know, that's why you have so many foods, so many varieties of flavours. That's why you have so many varieties of people. Because if my one doesn't spark something, somebody else will. And that's what, for me, the whole paradigm shift and what Skull creates and what I try to create with the whale, what Infinity creates, you know, we're trying to create these different flavours, these different varieties. You know, our aim is to help people. Taoistically, for me, I'll offer my services to anybody. You don't have to accept them. And there's sort of a bit of me that says, well, if you don't, you don't, and if you do, awesome. It is what it is. But I'm going to do it anyway, so no. And that's the point, you know. If you're in service, you're in service, and that you need to do that, and whether you do that through healing, whether you do that through food, whether you do that through music or dance or poetry or poodle washing or whatever, you have to find the right way for you to do it, for being service, and then send that out. Do what you got to do. But hey, what do I know?
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Paul. I like how you say that at the end. You're just like, hey, what do I know? But like, don't. I hope you're not saying it in a way where you're like degrading any of the value of what you said.
It's an old Darish joke.
It's more of like it's more of a philosophy.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
It's don't get too serious. Don't let ego make. Oh yeah, I'm so brilliant. I'm so wonderful. I'm the king of the world. Yeah, shut up. It's like if you want to, if it means something to you and it's helped you, then awesome, brilliant. If it's gone straight over your head, then hey, what do I know? Doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. It's there if you want it. It's awesome. And if it's not for you now, then awesome. If it's not for you ever, there's other people that will help you. It's to ease people off. It's why I love humour. I love taking the mickey, even out of myself. Hey, if I can take the mickey out of myself better than everybody else, I'm all good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's an important thing. Like within the spiritual, people who are exploring the spiritual path, is to never be too serious with yourself. Never take your don't even like just bringing any humor into it and lightheartedness is like important, and just being able to bring like a humbleness and a play into it is really cool, especially when it comes to like sharing your message and everything, right? Like people are more likely to like listen to someone that they can relate to, and if part of our goal is to get this message into more of the mainstream culture, then we have to ask ourselves, how do we present ourselves in a way that is going to be able to relate to something that will be more accessible to people. But at the same time, like sometimes it's good to get like super specific and work for a niche market, and there's a time and a place for that as well. So yeah, cool guys. Well, as it is right now, I know Teresa had actually just dropped into the chat, and if she's able to join again, then she'll totally be able to jump in before we wrap this up. But other than that, we'll be able to move into closing routine, doing the tarot and okay, so we do have a new player has joined the game. So Tyler actually just joined the Hangout.
What's up?
Hello. Hey, Tyler. Aloha.
Hello.
Cool. Well, we're like, again, we're going to wrap this up eventually, but we'll make room for new people joining in. And in addition to Tyler, who will pass the talking stick over and he can introduce himself into this broadcast recording, I also just want to give a shout out to some of the people who actually have joined during this broadcast by creating profiles on the main website. And Indigo Jack, I was just going to ask, do you have a profile created on the main website yet? And
no,
not yet. Okay.
No, but I'm looking to do that ASAP because I'm very interested in this energy here. So.
Awesome. You can go to paradigmshiftcentral.com, and then in the top left there's a button that says Start Menu. You click that, and that will take you back to the main menu, and then you can click Begin New Journey. It's kind of like the main start menu for the game. And then, kind of like there's an intro video, and it kind of takes you through it and stuff. Or you can just go to link.paradigmshiftcentral.com with a HTTP in front of that. But what I was just going to say, I want to give a special shout out again to some of the people who have actually joined while we were doing this broadcast. So I want to give a special shout out to Sean, who has joined, to Skylar, to William O, and a couple people within like the most recent while who have joined would also be Steve and Alyssa and Deshaun and Derek and Sierra. And I could literally go on and like give you a list of close to, at this point, 263 people who have created profiles on the website. So again, that's 263 locations. That's 263 potential paradigm shift communities that are going to be able to get created through individuals where they are. And again, honestly, was thinking to myself before this broadcast when I was just out exercising and meditating, I was just like, like I have a dream of a world where there literally is a paradigm shift community in every city. And what I thought, and my intention behind that is simply because every city could use a paradigm shift community. And what I mean by that is, like, again, a paradigm shift community is kind of an umbrella term. More or less, it's a public and recurring opportunity for people to come together and to collectively, like, work towards conscious evolution individually through personal discussion, through meditation, through events, through ceremony. So creating a paradigm shift community is very simple in terms of encouraging you guys to create open-minded discussion meditation circles, but it can be very unique, and every paradigm shift community is different depending on the people within it, and you can sort of create it and evolve it into something that you, like, help transform it into, in addition to the other people involved with the community as well. So yeah, creating paradigm shift communities is the thing that we'll talk about more in future Hangouts, and a reminder that there will be the admin Hangouts that will be happening later on, and that will actually happen after the first or the next class of Destiny School, and that was something that I mentioned way at the beginning of the podcast that I'll just bring information to right now. And oh no, Tyler left. I hope he joins again, or else I'm going to feel really bad. Because with the idea that, like, yeah, sorry about that, Tyler. Hopefully Tyler rejoins and we get a chance to hear from him. But I was just going to give you guys information about the clarification about the Paradigm Shift Destiny School to give you guys a heads up. So Destiny School will be the same thing that we're doing here, but it'll be with a specific intention, and each Hangout will have a specific topic related to it. And the next Destiny School topic is, if you guys hadn't heard, the next topic for Destiny School is meditation. So that is obviously a very open-ended topic, but we'll talk about, like, practices, we'll talk about techniques, we'll talk about experiences, we'll talk about why we should meditate, we'll talk about the science behind it, and we'll spend a little bit of next week's team building hangout to do a little bit of research on meditation, and we'll pull in some links and we'll see what we can find. And I encourage anybody listening to this to do a little bit of research on their own and potentially bring that into the recording of the podcast again not next week, but the team building hangout will be, as I check my calendar here, but I believe it's May 12th is when our our next Paradigm Shift Destiny School hangout is going to be. And yeah, the one after that will be on health and fitness, and the one after that, I believe, is on sacred geometry, then UFOs, then entheogens, and then there's quite a few other topics, and we'll sort of vote on them together, but I also got a few listed here. And Tyler is back, thank goodness. Yeah, I thought it's good to see him back in here. So again, just thanking everyone who's tuned in, thanking everyone who's signing up to the website. Again, use the website to create your quest journals, share your media, share your story, and we'll help feature it, and your story helps inspire other people's story. But we'll talk more about that later. Let's pass the microphone over to Tyler. So Tyler, aloha, brother. Welcome to the Hangout.
Hola, how you?
Yo.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Were you tuned in earlier? Like, have you seen the routine that we're doing here, just in terms of introduction?
No, I sure didn't. I just got back.
Dude, I love your hair, man. It looks awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
What's your you got a tattoo on your shoulder? Is it another? Because Sam was in here earlier and he had the Seed of Life tattooed on his shoulder, like, and he just got his done. So it's kind of pretty cool. So that's awesome though. I like it because that's like a permanent, like, button. That's like a badge.
Basically.
Yeah.
Life on your shoulder.
Yeah. The only thing from there is just going next level and going to, like, Michael Brazel level where you tattoo it on your face. So shout out to Michael Brazel. He leads by example, man. That guy's hardcore. Cool. Okay, so Tyler, we're just and we got a couple other people here who have joined, so we'll do our best to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves, with the intention though that we'll wrap up. We'll do a card reading and a short closing meditation before the end of this. And Christian, I'm just gonna mute your microphone. Perfect. And again, so Tyler, we'll pass over to you, and you can say who you are, your name or names, like your video game name or code name or anything, or your alias, and where you're calling from or where you're located, and what you might be interested in, and how you're helping assist in the shift. And that can, again, be like things you're researching, projects you've been involved with, adventures you've been on, or any art that you are either working on or thinking about working on, like videos
Cool.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'll show you.
So obviously the name's Tyler Charham. I'm 22 from Louisiana. My main project right now I'm working on, I'm building a self-transformational education site, and pretty much it's all about basically helping clients to help them reach their full potential, because we have all these negative belief systems that, you know, that's limiting us. And so I'm pretty much working on that. And I mean, besides that, I'm basically just pretty much past 3 years I've been into self-development and working on my own self, and just, I don't know, it's still a new journey for me, and I'm still somewhat adjusting. I've been a big gamer for about 10 years right now, and so it's like I'm in a transition to, you know, from gaming to straight self-development and pretty much becoming an entrepreneur. And my main goal right now is to transform 1 million people's lives for the better. And I mean, besides that, yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. I don't know.
That's awesome, man. Do you have, like, seriously, that sounds really cool. I like the direction that you're taking that. Do you have a name for your projects?
Yeah, it's called Evolving Change.
Evolving Change.
EvolvingChange.com. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. If you want to post a link into this chat, and then I'll relay
Sure.
it into the other chat, and we'll
I mean,
add
it's not
it to
finished, but yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, perfect. And do you see yourself like doing videos and stuff like that?
To be honest, yes. Just at the moment, I have like a self-conscious issue, so it's me being like, right now, this is actually it's pretty nervous, like nervous-wracking or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah, you're on the internet. Psych, 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 psych. People are watching.
To be honest, live streaming is really where
Don't mess
the
up, man.
revolution is coming, man. Like the internet, like Snapchat, Facebook Live, all this is really where the next, what would you call it? I don't know. It's live streaming is where it's at basically, and so I'm trying to adapt into that. Which, I mean, the best way is really just make a video a day, and you know, you get better as you go, you get more comfortable as you go, and so I mean, it's just something I got to get out of my comfort zone. I mean, I'm working on it as I go, but yeah.
Totally, man. Well, you're definitely in the right place, and yeah, like I think you obviously got stuff to talk about, and I think like when it comes to videos, again, I was kind of saying to Sam, it's totally cool to just think about it as practice, and then to try and keep them like kind of like short and sweet, you know. And if it takes a couple takes, like that's totally cool. But pick like a topic, or pick like even just like one sentence, or like a catchphrase or something like that.
Definitely.
You know, like yeah, like the one that I did back in the beginning of January, where it was like a call to action for people to like have more feeling and stuff like that, and I use like the hashtag like feel the feels or something like that. You can create some crazy hashtag or something, and just kind of run with it. But yeah, you know, and don't be afraid to like recycle other people's messages in your own way. And that almost goes back to like back in school, where we would have to not plagiarize ideas from other sources and then like reword it and then source it, sort of thing. So I mean, like these ideas, they're out there, they're everywhere. So I mean, it's okay to kind of like take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there, but creating it into a unique message that is still you and stuff like that. Definitely. So I mean, like people, you know, like when I look for inspiration, I look to people like Preston Smiles. I look to people like Jason Silva. You know, like there's like Alexi Panos. There's Jake Ducey. There's a lot of people who have kind of been like getting into the hang of this, and you're just like, wow, you know, they seem like they have a lot to talk about, but don't be afraid, and don't let that put you off, because there's infinite more things to talk about. Sometimes it's like open up a book, find like a paragraph, and then think about how that paragraph could be turned into a 2-minute video or something like that, you know. And we got like thousands of books, so we got theoretically thousands of videos to access. So yeah. So and another thing would just be like less is more. I know you said like one video a day. To be honest, I would encourage you to maybe start off with whatever. Honestly, do practice. But like when you get into like doing one video maybe like once a week and having a regular routine, that can also be a very beneficial thing, only because you run the risk of like, you know, just like you run out of content quicker, and the good stuff actually kind of gets lost within like the redundancy of the post. Like, how's someone going to know that Tuesday's video was like way better than Thursday's video or something if
Right.
they kind of all
That
blend in
makes
as one?
sense. Yeah.
So yeah, just little things. But yeah, as you know, man, like this project is totally about helping people create videos and to get them out there. So once you got your videos, just let us know and we'll send them and send the message out there, and we'll link people back to your project as well, man.
Heck yeah, man.
More than happy to. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
Dude. Cool, man. Cool. We also have a couple other people who are in here, but yeah, Tyler, is there anything else that you want to say, or even like maybe like words of advice or wisdom for some like 15-year-old kid who might be listening to this, or like your past self, or something, or
Oh, the only thing that pops up to my head is it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Mm.
It's simple. Cool. I don't know.
Do you want to expand on that?
Not really.
I was gonna say, pretend you're filming a video right now. Like what? Because no doubt, like I'm sure there's more that you could talk about that. Right. Like obviously, the idea comes from somewhere, right? So, yeah, this is like I'm just inviting you if you want to do that, or I can wait until you turn it into a 2-minute video or something. So whatever works. Cool. Okay. Well, awesome, man. It's good to see you around. And cool. Okay. Much love. All right. So Tyler, also, if you want to just post your Facebook into the chat, and just for everyone, let's post our Facebooks into the chats within this Hangout, and then I'll relay those into the show notes as well. And yeah, it looks like we have a couple other people. Christian has joined, so we'll pass the mic over to him. But also Teresa is here. Both of you guys. Christian, do you want to go next, or I'm not? If you want to just test your mic, go ahead, and also Teresa, we can test her mic too. If you guys want to practice unmuting yourself, you can do that. Or maybe not. Okay, so Teresa, do you want to practice unmuting your microphone if you're there and if you want to join in onto the conversation? Okay, so all right, well, either way, I appreciate you guys totally just for being able to tune in and stuff, and just at any point, just feel free to, so Teresa's isn't working, and that's totally cool. So if you guys are able to just tune in at, like, feel free to jump in at any point if it gets working or whatever. But yeah, with that said, again, we're getting close to the end of the episode. Diego is still in the chat, but Diego we haven't heard anything through them. So Diego, shout out to you. If you have the ability to jump in, feel free to jump in at any point. But other than that, we'll move into evidently the closing tarot draw, which we'll do in a minute. But I just want to open up this circle again if anybody else had anything that they want to share, or maybe even any sort of news that they might want to share, like any community news or events or anything. There were just like stories of like stuff that they got coming up that they might want to share. So, okay. I'll start off though, but if anybody else just want to jump in, on Friday we have our regular Paradigm Shift London, Ontario meeting, and again we're going to be doing open-minded discussion at the Downtown Yoga Studio, 645 London, Ontario, Canada, on the first floor, but next week it'll be on the third floor again. And after that, we're going to go also, we'll see. Last week we did like busking on the street, and we had friends with poi, and we were spinning lights and doing free hugs, and also like running some food to people on the street who needed food. And we're going to try a routine with that similar again, where if people have food, or at least I'll pick up food from the shawarma shop and do a couple laps and see if there's people on the street who we can pass off food to, and possibly like stay around and do some busking and free hugs as well. But the other cool thing is that and again, you know, this is stuff me telling you guys, like, because I encourage you guys to replicate this where you are. Like, anybody can go up and down the street and do free hugs and give out food, and it's like a very powerful thing, whether you're doing it by yourself or with a group. Like, those are the shiftivism ideas that we encourage people to do. And hey, again, you know, like, if you do that, even if it's your first time, and then you journal it, you write a quest journal about it, that's like the next level of the game that we want to be able to do, because we want to hear, we want to hear about like your experience with that, and to be able to help inspire other people to see, you know, to answer the question is what happens when more of us start doing this. The other thing that I have on Saturday is a Jedi Training Academy, and I'll tell you about that real quick. Again, that's going to be Paul's excited about that. That's going to be a combination. It's basically a combination of physical exercise, play, philosophy, and like group discussion and martial arts. And it's going to be like almost like a circuit training thing, kind of like gym class, and I'll be running it. But it'll also be like a paradigm shift circle, and we'll be sitting down and we'll be talking, and we'll be using simple objects like tennis balls and doing some mental exercises, some cognitive reflexes, learning how to catch tennis balls with our eyes closed, doing some like strength training, and doing again some martial arts with our hands, doing flow exercises with our hands, and doing sadhu to be specific, and also working with bokens, which are the wooden swords. And when we do the wooden swords, we only have 2 right now, but my plan for doing it is to do it with like a lot of intention and ceremony. So what we'll do, we'll actually only have like 2 people at a time, and they won't be trying to like hit each other. It's more so of a dance. That's more of the focus of it, is creating a dance out of it, and then having everyone else sit in a circle. So we're in like a public park, but we'll do that. We'll like have a circle and we'll sit around, and then like 2 people will be in the middle, and then we'll like switch people out and stuff like that. So that's just kind of a cool idea. And again, you know, if that sounds like something that's neat to you, then hey, I encourage people to create and start running Jedi training academies where they are, and just have it as like a free event to attend in the park and accept donations and invite your friends and run around and get them sweaty and talk about philosophy and actually do like legit training and do like meditation in the park. And then the idea from there is to take some of those people and to actually go do on a free hugs mission, and to go do a bit of like a free hugs run after that. So because that would be like part of teaching what it means to be a Jedi, which is about like showing compassion and being the light within the darkness of Babylon, and yeah, taking the love out of the park and into the streets as well. So that's kind of a cool thing, and I'll let you guys know how that goes, and theoretically I'll be able to post up a quest journal about that as well. I did just want to go back because I know Teresa actually commented in the chat, and Christian, if you want to comment in the chat. Oh, Christian is doing homework. Okay, that makes sense. So shout out to Christian, and I just want to say Teresa left a little note here, and I'm just going to read what she said, and she says, "My name is Teresa, health and wellness and organite. I am a cancer survivor, breathofterra.com, and I'm sorry I'm having cam issues tonight due to thunderstorms." Thunderstorms? Lucky you. That's awesome. So I'll actually add your website into the show notes as well, Teresa, and thank you so much. I do just want to, again, give a shout out to everyone who is tuning in and who is communicating through this and who may be brand new to this. And even people, there have actually been like a couple people, I think 2, but only one showed up in my inbox, who have actually signed up to the Patreon while this broadcast is happening. So extra super thank you to them. And again, like that is helping support the entire community. That is team crowdfunding resources. And so, yeah, much shout out to Jennifer, who donated to the Patreon. And again, the link for that I'll post in the live chat, but it's patreon.com/Brendan Culleton, and on the main website you'll see the part where it says the monthly support squad, and you can click on that and that'll take you to it, or click on the part where it says the buttons, or even the donate, and it will all link you back to the Patreon. And yeah, you'll hear more about that as we continue to reach milestones, and that'll be a shared accomplishment within the tribe, and a very cool way to turn this community into a self-sustaining media project as well. So very cool stuff. Okay, so having cleared that up, we'll move into the tarot card, but again, I just want to open up the microphone. Does anybody else have anything they want to say, or even just like some reflections on how they feel this hangout went? Is there anything that we want to maybe bring into the next hangout that we could do differently, room for improvement? Take a moment to think about it. Again, every hangout can kind of be used a little bit differently. What I would actually be wanting to do is to is to use the Hangouts for like use them as creative spaces, creative work spaces. So sometimes there would actually be moments where we're specifically talking about working on a journal topic, a conscious article topic, or talking about working on a specific video. You know, we could literally pop out like a 90-second video concept within a short time of us sitting here. So that could be a thing that we can do next week. Like, how can we create a 90-second video about ... You know, so we can explore that as we continue to go through this project. But yeah, that'll be cool. And yeah, so just opening up the microphones again. Does anybody else, or even just general feedback? I mean, it doesn't have to be things that you want to do. Just generally, you know, what was your guys' experience with this hangout? So, Indigo, go ahead.
Well, this is my first time, so it's been amazing, and I'm just appreciative to be here. So, thank you.
Hey, thank you too, man. And how did you find out about this hangout?
I'm friends on your Facebook, so
Okay.
I was like kind of watching you with the free hugs thing, and like I do my own thing, and just connecting webs of different light workers together to create new. I've been in Hangouts with other groups of people and stuff, Cosmic Conversations. If you've seen it before, I don't know if you guys are friends with Jordan Rudnick, but like yeah, we've been doing this, so it's my first time with you guys, so it feels really good, and I'm gonna connect in to your website and be a part of the team.
Awesome, right on, man. And yeah, I haven't watched one of your videos yet. I'm saving it, but definitely we'll keep in touch. And yeah, Jordan Rudnick, I actually just confirmed his friend requests on Facebook as well. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be able to see more media creators coming together. And yeah, like media is a super potent thing. You know, like how can we be ambassadors for knowledge is the simple way of how I think about it. So that's like kind of the underlying intention behind this, and noticing that like that actually changes things. It's water for a thirsty world, if you want to think about it that way, and we can continue to evolve it. So cool. Yeah, thanks again, man. And if you could just send me a message through Facebook, that would be perfect. Or what's your name on Facebook would be the second question. Is it Indigo Jack or something else? Or you can just message me.
All right, I'll message you.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any just comments on how this experience was for them? Do you guys feel slightly more activated or inspired, perhaps? Paul, you're wide awake, and it is like 5 a.m. where you are. That's got to say something. So, cool.
Yes, I'm awake, and it's the energy of this hangout, most definitely.
Yeah.
So yes, it's 5 a.m. It's oh my god, it's early.
The birds are. You can hear the birds outside. I'm sure it's about that time. So. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you.
Saying, what the heck are you doing up? I don't know. Blame Skull. I am.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
Oh,
They're
Canada.
not even a real country anyways. So fuck. Yeah, Paul, I look forward to being able to work with you. I'm sure we could put together some cool articles on some of the knowledge that you're carrying as well. So stay tuned for that, global community. And yeah, you'll link back into Paul's stuff. And again, it's thewayof.co.uk. Is that correct, Paul? Is that the exact website?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm sort of redoing the website at the moment. So the fan page is To The Way Of. You'll find it that way. And yeah, sure. I'm doing lots of the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of the live videos.
Yeah.
And just playing with that, just getting used to it, and sort of created a series of raw cheese. So just going the flow, me rambling for a bit. But the other series I do I've got a YouTube profile, which is Seafood Boggy, all one word. I'll put the link on in a bit. But yeah, there's lots of different sort of series I created on there, but one of them's Arse Boggy. So like the spiritual stuff is that I work best when people just throw questions at me. It's how otherwise I just ramble for years and never get shut up. So, but it's all good. So there's different sort of levels, there's different stuff on the profile. So there's Ask Boggy, there's the Just Do It videos where that's the Qigong and the videos, and then there's the Ask Boggy, which is more the philosophy and the healing side and the self-massage applications. And then the raw chi is just going with the flow. Sort of what I do best.
Awesome.
So, yeah, cool. Building it up slowly. And yeah, looking forward to doing stuff with you and anybody else, especially the beautiful Michelle. I'd definitely like to work with her in the future.
Yeah, you guys got a good team forming up here. So
I know, it's the A team.
Jedi, the A team.
Yeah, D-Jedi, the Pillar of Light.
That's right. Jedis. Cool. Thanks again, Paul. And again, I'll include Paul's Facebook link into the show notes as well. People can find those. So yeah, it's facebook.com/seafoodboggy, SIFUBOGGIE, and that'll link you up with Paul Boggy Brighton on Facebook. Very cool. Michelle, you want to jump in there?
I'm tired.
What was that?
I said I'm tired.
You're tired, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm sleep. I wake up with the sunrise lately is my thing, so I kind of want to do that, but then you kept saying tarot cards, so I'm like, I'm lingering, but part of me is also, like, I love
let's
my
get the tarot card and go to sleep.
Let's talk to Michelle and tarot cards.
Yeah,
I love that. That works out.
Let's pop quiz Michelle. Yeah. Pop quiz. Was Prince murdered?
Was he?
I don't know. People that's the rumors.
Really?
Don't you guys know? It would all make sense.
No, I don't watch the TV, but I think it's fascinating that him and David Bowie part of the same soul group. And I think it's cool that happens, that people like leave the planet that do similar vibration. You know? And I also thought that, like, I had this freaky thought. This is my giggle self because I'm tired. I had this freaky thought in my kitchen that said, it's like 2016, and like both of their higher selves or their spirits were like, yeah, we're good. I did it. I'm good. Like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go forward at all. But that's just me. And those are just
For me, like with the Prince and the even Bowie thing, like what is always interesting because when a person dies, it brings their character to the limelight, and then it sort of gives us a chance to reflect and be like, like what did that person teach me about? You know, like sometimes like people get sensitive about celebrities they've never met because these celebrities have helped us meet ourselves, to know more about ourselves. But one of the things with Prince and with David Bowie was the theme of radical self-expression, which to me is like what this is all about, 2016 and the future. It's like being yourself authentically, and like showing that and shining that light, and having like integrity in doing so.
Being your androgynous sexy self.
Unleash the androgynous being within you. That's both male and female. God and goddess. So yeah, because I mean, you know, like I think that's kind of opposite to saying like men unleash the god within you, women unleash the goddess in you. It's just like, how about we both just release the androgynous god, man, woman being in all of us theoretically. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a little paradigm shift there, I guess. So.
And they both worked their sexuality in a way that was like they were non-apologetic for it.
Yeah, it's part of their
this is what is up.
Baby.
Okay, we are going to have to wrap up this broadcast, and only because I got to go take care of my dog and go sleep on the couch, and my mom will be able to sleep upstairs as long as one of us is downstairs, so that's kind of the routine that I got to go with. And we'll do a tarot draw real quick, and again, just thanking everyone so much for listening to this broadcast, whether you're watching the video or whether you're listening to the actual podcast version, the audio version. Thank you so much. And again, you can go back and listen to past episodes, but also tune in for future ones. And a reminder, the next Hangout will be this coming Tuesday, which is May 2nd? May 2nd will be the dream class. So if you're interested in learning more about lucid dreaming and talking about dreams and talking about, talking about dreams and lucid dreaming and metaphysics related to dreams and sharing your dreams, then tune in for that, and that will be, again, similar format as this, where we meet up at 8 p.m., and then the live broadcast will begin eventually afterwards, and it'll be recorded as well. So that's on May 2nd at 8 p.m., and that will repeat again on May 16th. After that as well, and then it'll be every other week. So it'll be that, and then again the Destiny School class on meditation is coming up on the 19th. So the calendar you can actually find through the main website. You'll usually see it on the side within the main aspects of the website. You'll see the events calendar there, but you can also go up to the top under tools and click on events calendar to double check it as well, and that will give you a good visual reference. Because I mean, lo and behold, if you're someone who's like interested in this community and who likes this and who likes tuning in for this, don't depend on getting notifications and emails from me all the time, because fact is they won't reach you all the time. Just check the schedules and know when you want to show up for live broadcast, but also know that everything's going to be recorded and you can go back and check it out at your own leisure. And that's a super awesome thing. I like that people download us and take them with us, like when they're riding the bus and stuff like that. It's super cool. So are you guys ready to do a tarot draw?
Word.
Wrap this up. Cool. This broadcast is officially, how long have we been going now? Broadcast began. Yeah, it's about almost 3 hours. So this is a good chunk of content for the people tuning in for this one. So support your free conscious media by contributing to the team Patreon. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I can hear my dog barking downstairs, so I gotta wrap this up, and the meditation may be a quick one. Okay, so let's ask the universe show us what we need to see. So if you guys kind of want to take a moment to zone in on this, collectively put our intentions. There's a quantum infinite amount of cards within this deck right now, and we will receive the symbols that we need in this moment to see ourselves. So. There we go. Okay, where do we go?
You have to make that sound when you.
Oh, every time. That's how you draw tarot. I'll write an article about it. Okay, so this is a good one. I think you guys might be pretty excited about it. Does anybody want to guess what card it is? As I slowly move the card into screen. Use your intuition. Guess what it is.
Ace of Spades.
It's not. It's not like a playing. What, Michelle? Does anybody want to guess?
Naughty, naughty Michelle.
Okay. It's something of spheres.
Oh.
Does anybody want to guess what it is? Can you see what it is from the picture?
No.
Oh, did you see it for a second? What is that? Do you have any idea what that is? Oh. Okay. I'll just tell you what it is, because otherwise we'd be here all night. Princess of Spheres. Princess of Spheres. So here's the card right here. So it's a beautiful image of a woman, and she's kind of one with nature. There's flowers growing out of her hair, literally, and there's a little sphere in front of her that has broken edges on it, or rather puzzle pieces that maybe haven't been added to it. So I'm going to read for you what Princess of Spheres is all about. Yeah, again, I just want to be able to finish this up so I can go take care of my dog.
We can do this as the meditation.
We'll finish with just a couple breaths, but yeah, we won't get into a deep meditation. But again, if people want super awesome meditations, go back and listen to the podcast of Paradigm Shift Radio's 132 and 131 would be my suggestion. Okay, Princess of Cups. So guys, where are spheres? It should only take me 2 seconds. Okay. There it is. Okay. Wait. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Okay. These things are kind of sectioned funny. No? Okay, how the hell did I not find this? Sorry guys, this shouldn't be taking this long. Swords, Princess of Swords. Should be right here. Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay. So how's everyone doing right now? You guys having fun?
Just look at the card, right? And then if you can't find what it means,
yes,
the card, just read what
there it is. I just wasn't flipping it as far back as I needed to for some reason. Okay, perfect. But yeah, it's always good to be able to intuitively look at a card and be well, what does that mean to me, right? Because it's not just what's written in the book; it's what the symbol actually represents. And kind of this idea with the tarot cards is that if we were to see ourselves, the true image of ourselves, we actually wouldn't recognize it. So the universe has to share it with us through pieces of symbols that we get through the tarot deck. That's actually part of the intention behind the tarot deck and the magic behind it, if you want to think about it that way. Princess of Spheres, the image. Next to a sphere that is peeling itself, a female beauty stands in a sensuous pose and stares into emptiness, meaning, by doubling the power of Earth, the form-giving principle of matter is increased. The Princess of Spheres represents the female aspect of the Earth element. And again, yeah, you guys can kind of meditate into this and really listen. As opposed to the masculine polarized energy from the air element that is represented in the formless aspect of pure mind in the King of Swords, the ancient feminine receptive principle of the earth is symbolized here, focusing on that which is important and being receptive to inner impulses are major traits that characterize the Princess of Spheres. Persistence, openness, and reservation lend the modest nature of personal attractiveness. The Princess of Spheres expresses the double emphasis of Earth by reducing that which is important to tangible forms, the ability to unfold a blossoming life, as is shown in the prolific power of feminine creativity, is the same power that which nature likes to bring forth in its various forms. I'll say that last part again. The ability to unfold a blossoming life, as is shown in the prolific power of feminine creativity, is the same power with which nature likes to bring forth its various forms. Astrological significance: Venus, Saturn, Taurus, double earth element. Keywords: connection to nature, birthing power, good-natured, openness, receptiveness, comfort, standstill, persistence, consideration, earthly ties, focus on the important, attractiveness, gentleness. Traditional meaning: grounded, sensuality, realism, dependability, striving for harmony, slowness, sluggishness, idleness, self-confidence, steadfastness. And that's it. So, I mean, yeah, my quick thoughts on that is like that idea of like blossoming life and like the birthing elements, the birthing power. I always think of that as ideas, right? Like what happens, you know, like women don't just become pregnant with children. People become pregnant with ideas, and we actually carry those ideas with us, and we have to nurture them and birth them. So let's think about that. What are the things that we can birth into this reality? And like, guys, I want to have babies with you. I want to have media babies and idea babies with you. So we'll birth some babies. We'll birth some ideas. We'll birth some opportunities.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, babies. Making babies. So idea babies. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought on that. Okay. All right. I gotta wrap this up. But last comments. Go ahead, Michelle.
Wait, yeah, I got the same impression still. Not the idea of babies thing, but but definitely I got the same reading when you were reading. Was that I was like, oh, it's like a mirror of what we're creating here and our intentions for next time are that
Right,
like,
yeah.
your homework's due and you have to do something for the week because that's what we're here to cultivate, this energy of creation. And I think it's really cool that it's a feminine energy of birthing because it goes with the Taoist Bogey Brighton, what you were saying about going with the flow and the harmony versus, and also what our friend Indigo was saying about getting out of the will and allowing it to be the divine will, which in a way, I wouldn't say the divine will is only feminine, but to be a receptacle to the idea and then allow that idea to be fluid. So I guess what we can say is that when we create this week, may we create not from the necessity of it, but from the allowance of like the muses to create through us.
Yeah, the shin flowing through us again. Yeah, receptiveness.
Right on,
I like
sister.
that. Cool. Okay, cool, guys. All right, guys. Let's just take 2 breaths together, 3 breaths together. My dog's barking, so I just gotta go downstairs. So let's just remind ourselves, bring ourselves back into gratitude, align ourselves with the breath, this present moment, and continue breathing beyond what I say here. And, you know, just take time to meditate for yourself. Your homework for this week, your shift mission, is to create a quest journal through the main website. Very simple, and that can be whatever it is to you. It can be short, it can be long, it can be poetry, it can be a video, it can be something you saw, it can be an experience, a synchronicity, a dream, whatever it is to you. So thank you to everyone for tuning into this. Let's just take a few breaths and synchronize with the bigger intention of why we are here, and ask yourself that question: why are you here? So gentle inhales through the nose, gentle exhales through the nose or mouth. Again, gentle inhales, gentle exhale. One more with purpose. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome, guys. Well, within our imagination, that meditation was probably like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something. But yeah, definitely go meditate on your own. We can always meet up in the astral. Let's meet up under the tree, and it'll be a tree with a paradigm shift sigil floating above it, kind of like a flag. And so take a moment if you want to look at the paradigm shift sigil, which is the sigil all over the website, sort of get it into your context and fall asleep thinking about it, and we'll align through that portal and theoretically meet up in the astral. And we'll explore more of that, and that is a real thing, and that will be accomplished, and we're just planting the seeds for it now. So let's officially wrap this up. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this. ParadigmShiftCentral.com. Create your profile, get involved, create your quest journals, and yeah, so much awesome stuff still to come. So stay tuned, and a huge shout out to everyone who's been a part of this co-creation, and a huge shout out to you, the listeners. So continue to choose to be the change that you wish to see in the world. So everyone, let's say farewell to all the beautiful people out there who've been tuned into this, how awesome they are. Let's just tell them how awesome they are. You guys are awesome. We love you guys.
You
Yes,
are.
rock!
We got this.
Got it.
Yeah, we're all a team here.
Quack, 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 quack. Go,
Nice, you
ducks.
done.
Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Good night.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm officially wrapping this
Bye.
up, clicking the stop button, so thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. And again, check the show notes, connect with everyone who you've heard about in this broadcast. Continue the conscious conversations with you, wherever you are, wherever you are. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the future. So good night, guys. One love. Peace out. Peace. Peace. There we go. One love.